Yeah, and it's nice too that he's not just restricted to this mid lane. We've seen him being played as a carry, and his lane presence is pretty good too. Obviously, they've picked this in response to a Death Prophet. I think they are assuming that this DP will be going to that off lane, and they want Shadow Fiend to kind of match it. Obviously, you don't have the best lane matchup possible. If it's a melee off laner, it's much easier because you can abuse them with raises. But at the same time, just the ability to out CS them super hard with those souls is very nice, and the ability to kind of clear these waves and keep them off your tower. The longer you can keep your safe lane tower up for, the better, right? And SF helps a lot with that.
Yeah. And now exploiting the fact your opponents of first phase Earthshaker grabbing Rubik. So you've got two pretty nice supports here. The Marcy and the Rubik able to grab people, close the gap, and set up team fights for the Shadow Fiend. We saw even previously today, right? We had like Marcy Pudge or whatever it was, hooking people into Requiem. Now you've got Telekinesis and Dispose to get them in on top of the Razors, the Requiem, and all the damage the Shadow Fiend brings.
Faceless Void.
Oh my god, we got a Faceless Void in the mix.
Here it is.
Alright, they lost to it enough times, they're mad. They're bringing it out themselves now.
I mean, best carry this patch, it feels like, along with the Troll Warlord.
I've loved seeing Troll. But yeah, Faceless Void #1 for me. This carry is insane. Pre Arlington, China heavily favored Faceless Void. I think they were the only region that was really like picking it a lot and valuing it a lot. Kind of similar with Spectre, but more so on Faceless Void. And then at Arlington, we saw China come in, pick this Faceless Void, made it look really good. A lot more other teams decided to then pick it up, and now we're just seeing it snowball into a couple buffs in the new patch, and he's looking really powerful.
Especially with the rise of Hand of Midas. Feels really good buying that golden money hand on the Void, and there is the Pudge again. Let's see this Pudge SF duo. Yeah. So it looks like SF going to be heading to mid. Pudge your carry, Marcy and Rubik your two supports.
If you got one nice hero versus the Chronosphere, it's got to be Pudge. It does mean that anytime anyone's... I mean, Marcy too, honestly, if she does go Ether Lens build, gets a Telescope later down the line or what have you, you have the Dispose as well as the Hook to kind of help save people from the Chrono, which is going to be a very nice toolkit as well. Like Pudge with that Shard, there's another option there to eat. It's nice ideas. Obviously, a lot of how it plays out is going to matter. How many people get chronoed, whether Enigma Galaxy kind of go in and force spells to be used and then kind of follow up with the Chronosphere. Because a DP, something she's very effective at, is running in and forcing cooldowns, forcing responses. As well as that Faceless Void, when he gets that Shard, we've seen a lot of times him able to just jump in and poke, get a BKB or whatever, and then just jump back out. Very strong.
I mean, Enigma right now, quite a bit of damage from that DP into Chrono. They've got saves from Chen, bit of tower push from him and the DP. Lots of ways to convert teamfight victories off the back of like a Blink Echo or a Chrono to actually get objectives. So pretty nicely rounded draft here for them. I feel like maybe they're lacking a little bit of damage and looking towards this potential mid lane hero for Sumail. We've seen Lashrak in the past. Might be something along those lines. Lena's still out there, right? Hey, hasn't been banned.
That's true. She is. She might get banned next. Brame have one more ban. I'd like those long-range heroes to kind of help deal with the Shadow Fiend. Something like a Sniper, also kind of similar to that. Maybe not into the Pudge. Brame do have a lot of catch. I think that's probably the biggest thing about their draft right now that I think is scary for Nigma. Because for them, they're going to be wanting to do a lot of like bodies. You get your DP, you take that safe lane tower, you go into the jungle, you stand there, you have Chen out front with his creeps and stuff. But until Earthshaker Blink Dagger, they're a bit limited, and if they can bring Faceless Void to Chrono, of course, but he wants to get a Midas, he wants to get a Maelstrom, he wants to farm. So looking at Brame, they can really exploit that. They have a lot of playmaking. There's an SF in the safe lane, you can bring your Marcy there to kind of threaten the offlaner and maybe get some kills there. Your Pudge, actually, I'm assuming this might be Shadow Fiend mid, now that there's a Pudge, yeah.
Well, we did see some switch-ups earlier, right? We had the 4 Pudge, we had people move around to give that Shadow Fiend the safe lane.
With a Rubik?
Yeah, that would mean what? Marcy would be a core? Yeah. I guess a little bit messy then?
Yeah, it's a bit, yeah, sorry. In that situation, yeah, then your Pudge safe lane, I mean, definitely hard to kill a DP, especially if you're a Pudge, because you are just kind of suffering in lane from getting right-click down, siphon down. But there's kill threat if they bring both supports. I think these are like quite aggressive heroes that can smoke around and do a lot. Oh no,
does this mean DP mid?
Alright, that's actually really good. I mean, Nature's Prophet is great at harassing in lane. It's also a mind control Nature's Prophet. Everyone, really likes that and respects it a lot, but Nature's is way easier to kill than a Death Prophet. This Pudge Marcy lane, I'm assuming, with any Rubik rotation is now a lot scarier for him. Potentially. It really depends on how the early levels go and if they're able to kind of deal with the harassment from the Treants and stuff.
Oh, see how it goes. It's another hero that can scale as well to give damage into Chrono. Now, we could be seeing this a potential Orchid build on the Prophet, zooming around, finding pickoffs. Because then you've got pairings of heroes, you've got the ability to play with Earthshaker, with DP, and then the push that comes, like if Nigma are able to win like any team fight, it's just towers crumbling.
I think Brame really need to pick a playmaker here. I need something that is able to sort of halter the tempo from Nigma. I want them to be able to fight without relying on a core that wants to be farming, because your Pudge wants a Vanguard, he wants an Ags. SF, he usually goes this right-click build now. He might want a Dragon Lance, and then he doesn't really want to get an early BKB, but he'll probably have to. And so it's just someone that is like, okay, I'm not super reliant on... Yeah, I'm not super reliant on items. I'm ready to just go do stuff. This Pugna's okay. It's not any kind of hard jump, but you kind of have Marcy for that, and Pugna's going to help you just threaten towers.
They are moving things around. It's Pugna mid then.
Yep.
And Pudge off lane, carry Shadow Fiend. So yeah. Looking for that shift around. They do actually make it happen.
Okay.
What does this mean for our lanes then?
This takes me
in terms
right
of matchups.
Round. I think this is good because Shadow Fiend. When I saw the Nature's Prophet, it made me think, okay, Shadow Fiend going safe lane would now be better because he can use the raises to help clear the Treants. He is obviously a kind of a weak carry, so it gets a bit scary if you're getting Fissure blocked, if you're getting Treants body blocking you, right? But if they play it well, which they obviously can, they're a highly skilled team, this is very possible for them to bring heroes to rotate and get some kills on this lane, and then Shadow Fiend can maybe rotate to the jungle, or he can take the mid tower while Wish goes top and pushes that tower. Sorry, take the mid lane farm on that Shadow Fiend. Yeah, they can move stuff up. I think this Pugna is going to be really good at pressuring the map, though. Yeah,
and it adds a little bit of tower push for them. And outplay potential for Wish here is pretty damn nice to have. With Decrep against Chrono, Decrep against a DP Ghost, the Prophet with the right clicks. You've got ways to save people with potential Pudge Shard, the Telekinesis Shard, like you were mentioning, and of course, Marcy with that Dispose to get people away from the grasps of Nigma. But yeah, I'm super excited here to get into game one and see how these lanes go, because I look at this Nigma draft and I think if they get 2 or 3 lane victories, the first 5-6 minutes goes well for them, this could snowball out of control pretty quickly. Brame have definitely got to screw their heads on tight, make sure that they're not giving up any sloppy kills or anything early on, and get the SF up and running. So we've seen how great he can. Shadow Fiend's just such a great hero to rally around and play around. If he does go for that early BKB timing, he just stands there, whacks people. You run at him, he requiems, and then you've got to reconsider how you enter these team fights.
We also saw this combo, right? They hook into the Requiem. They kept trying to go for it, but they didn't quite get it. Maybe we'll see it this game. That would be really hype. I guess
lots of ways to enable the SF, right? Dispose, telekinesis, hook.
I suppose the main thing I'm worried about is the last time we did see the SF, the build was going more for tankiness because he could rely on the Lina to do all that, actual right-click damage with the Daedalus MKB. And this game, there isn't really anything that supplements that. So if he needs to build tanky to survive, like Chrono, for example, it could limit their damage output. But at the same time, your ability to burst with this SF ult, with this Pudge hook, and that was, you know what, we won't talk about it.
That's a Fissure and a half from GH. Get the Nether Blast down, trying to give him move speed, but the body blocks from Miracle, allowing Sumail to get a Crypt Swarm in. The Treants trying to get in front of him, but Nande's alive. Under his tier 1, safe and sound. Treants can't chase him down. That was incredibly close.
A lot expended as well, that Fairy Fire. I mean, SF does not have the best damage at level 1. That Fairy Fire damage is pretty needed. Maybe he'll just buy another one, or... I mean, he doesn't even have the gold for it. Maybe when he gets those bounty gold.
And an early D-ward there for Nigma as well, getting rid of the mid-observer. Looks like they're going to try and collect 3 bounty runes as well. Ruby has moved up top to snag that one. But yeah, Nigma in position to take top river, and bottom jungle bounty runes. A very
my
good
God,
start for them.
almost. Okay. All right, a nice move by Nigma to secure those 3 bounty runes. Your mid is currently not going for a bottle, so shouldn't be too impactful there. I mean, Wish is going for one. Meanwhile, DP doing that stat build that we've seen a lot coming out with the Falcon Blade instead. Or maybe he'll just go more for trying to CS in lane. You can't really stop a Pugna is the only issue, right? He gets this Decrepify. He's going to be using it on ya. He's going to take the range creep, whether by force of Decrepify or just with the blast from Never. I think they should just be trading farm a lot in this mid lane. Maybe I think support rotation is going to be the biggest factor in how that goes moving into mid game, especially like on these power runes. If Earthshaker's coming mid, how many times have we seen Earthshaker get picked and there's just a quap? It's always some quap or jumping hero, Void Spirit.
A park.
Yeah, like God, it's so annoying. But this time there's actual threat.
Yeah, there sure is. There's so much to look out for this mid lane as well. Like if you think about DP wanting to rotate with Exo, get involved in some of these side lanes at like level 7 or so, then Pugna's threatening your tower. So it feels like the laning stage is going to be extended quite a while in this mid lane. So there's even more time for what you're saying, for supports to rotate, think about guarding runes and playing active in towards their mids.
On the other side, though, there's no reason why Pugna 6 can't mean some good rotations from Brame supports. I'm not sure about earlier levels, just because, you know, DP, one of her things and one of the reasons that she gets picked into like stronger lanes in the off lane is because she doesn't mind being in the middle of a lot of heroes. She just has Siphon. So if Brame was to come mid with, say, Marcy and jump on her, throw her back into the middle of her and Pugna, she's just going to get 2 Siphons off and kind of just walk it off. So I think they need that life drain maybe to kill her, unless Wish is able to really kind of whittle him down. But that's so hard nowadays in the mid lane with these war runes.
Yeah, war runes, wands, raindrops, all sorts of goodies you can bring to bolster your lane.
Yeah.
And Nigma have like the strongest. I feel like this is the strongest lane of this patch. Faceless Void Chen. Like, Miracle is just going to get farm. Is there a way they can stop this from happening? Like, what can you do to combat the Chen's presence in the lane?
First of all, they've already done it. They've blocked the small camp and they've blocked the medium camp on the jungle. This is probably like one of the most prevalent moves that people are doing against Chen nowadays. I think it started with LGD. You know, then we saw teams like Liquid doing it. Now we see Brame doing it. Other teams are doing it too, but I can't recall the names of. But it's something that is causing a lot of problems in the early few levels. I mean, Chen already has 1 sentry, so he'll probably get the D-ward off on the small camp. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see the Rubik buying like more sentries just to kind of keep up that threat. Like he also has another sentry. Like they want to keep as many creeps out of the range of Chen as they can, and then you can look to kill him. I mean, it's a strong lane. You got the Fade Bolt damage. You got the hook. Like, you could probably pull Kuroki out of position and kill him.
I'm sorry, but we've got important stuff happening on the minimap. GH has just won
what is it?
2 games of tic-tac-toe in a row.
Oh my god.
Noughts and crosses. Sumail was trying to combat him, but GH just out-mind gaming him. Gets all the 3 X's in a row.
Dude, I'm not allowed to draw on the map. If I press control, it just moves my camera.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's annoying. I don't know what Sumail was drawing. It looked like a teddy bear or something. It had a cute little face, a nice little smile. Oh, it's good to see there. Yeah, they're in the mood. Having a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, I guess we'll be waiting a little bit longer.
Yeah, looking at this bottom lane, Mind Control Prophet with GH Earthshaker. That is a very scary one. Especially, like you said, Shadow Phoenix spending Fairy Fire. Not having that additional bit. He has bought himself a new one. It's on the courier coming. He's got a pretty long walk down to bottom lane, and he's going to be there after the creep waves meet, it looks like.
GH has gone for a kind of hybrid build of not going boots all in, but he wants to basically just like block the waves and give Mind Control a good equilibrium in the lane, and that's like the most important thing, because sometimes you'll see Shakers do a multitude of things. They might go boots level 1, and they focus on just dragging the wave as much as they can, and that's all they want. You might see a stats build where they get some sticks and branches, and just try and trade. And that could be an option, honestly. Like, Shadow Fiend level 1 is not the biggest threat in the world. So if they wanted to just work together to use Treants to kind of click the Marcy down, then that could have been an option. But instead, he's going to go for Windlace, which gives him the move speed to kind of play away from Marcy a little bit, potentially go for that drag if they want, but also getting the stick so that he can trade a little bit more, and the clarities to help block the waves.
And then... Sorry, go on.
No, please, Gary.
I just like trying to play against what you've just said. It's kind of difficult to get pulls off against Earthshaker and Nature's Prophet as well, right? They're very good at contesting with Fissure and Treants to make sure that while they're upsetting your lane equilibrium, you're not able to reset lane equilibrium yourself.
Yeah. But
Miracle getting a bit of frantic, scribbling on the map. He's come on, let me get started. I want to hit some creeps.
I feel that, but I guess on the other side, like yeah, sure, these are all the highlights of like how this offlane can play, but if they don't get what they want and Brame gets levels, it's really scary to play against. So Marcy is going to have this rebound, like level 1, especially knowing that GH doesn't have the stats to really trade properly. You can just rebound onto Mind Control, hit him up. You have the raise level 1 on Shadow Fiend. They're probably just going to try and like go on him. At level 2, if they're able to get their level 2 first as well and not get too many denies from this Treants, another effective thing is if they hit 2 first, you have this rebound, you have the dispose back into a triple raise. That can be death.
That can, absolutely can.
Yeah. You got a bit disengaged there from the Fissure, of course, but at the same time, like, especially if you somehow end up near the tower, like if Earthshaker steps a little bit out of line, you can just throw him under the tower, get that kill. They definitely might. It definitely looks like they might have to play around some pulls and not just focus on lane domination, because one misstep can cause death against Brame.
Yeah, then you add in the effect of, later on, maybe we see the TP rotate in from a Pudge or a Rubik. Even more displacement abilities can drag these heroes around. I'm definitely excited to see them move in towards these mid lane, get into the side lanes, get that action going.
Dude, this is so weird. In game, I can only see DP's drawings on the map. That's why I was so confused what you were talking about. Because now I'm looking at the stream feed and I can see everyone's.
Yeah, I see everyone is scribbling on the map.
So I'm like, tic-tac-toe, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah. GH and Samel were playing it. They had like 3 rounds of it. Some of them were cheating. So both of them were playing X's, so there were no noughts, there were no O's.
Do you prefer to be naught or cross?
Cross.
Yeah, same. Just feels more satisfying putting an X through.
It does. Just put it in that box.
Yeah.
So, is there a chance for Pudge to be left alone in that top lane against a Void and a Chen? Like, I'm looking at this Rubik and wondering if he can start rotating around early. Just have to play the lane?
You gotta... Okay, you can do it, but you gotta make sure the lane's in a good spot. Because if you can drag... Well, I don't know if you want to drag a wave so much on Rubik, sorry, but if you can have the... If the hard camp's unblocked, if you pull it, if you... I don't know, say you use Fade Bolt, right? This is a key tool of laning as a Rubik. It reduces the damage of both enemies and all the creeps, right? Which means that your lane will naturally push because you're doing damage to creeps and you're weakening their damage against your own creeps. So it will push under the tower. When you push under a tower, it means that the wave will naturally begin to push back in the opposite direction just because the tower will, kill all that wave. The next wave will end up under the tower as well. That gets killed. And then it just pushes to your tower. In a situation like that, suddenly... I'm speaking way too fast for how long we're being paused. I'm going to milk this point. Sorry.
So, in the top lane...
As soon as that tower has killed both waves, now it pushes back. And when the creeps end up in front of Pudge's tower, he's pretty safe.
He's happy.
Yeah, he's very happy. The main tool that Nigma have in this top lane is if the creeps are under their tower instead, they have a long lane to chase the Pudge down. And
he's
really,
slow.
Yeah, he's slow. You can do a creep block, all this stuff. I mean, obviously the nice thing about Pudge here is that he can hook the creeps that Chen take over. So that is obviously a lovely thing there. It means he can't use it aggressively to kill, but it does alleviate some of the pressure. But yeah, if he can get this creep wave in front of his tower, he's peachy keen. Can't run him down, can't block him. Rubik's free to go look for the runes. There's also a chance, obviously, that they say, I'm gonna sack you. I'm just gonna rotate anyway, and he goes fine. And he just tries to farm the hard camp with the hook, or he maybe goes to his triangle and kills the creep in the hard camp there instead. He has options. you have to kind of weigh up. What do you like more, Gary? Do you like the Pudge getting farm, or do you like the runes? And I think in this matchup, it's probably runes.
It's runes, yeah.
Yeah.
Get runes for your Pugna. Make sure Wish has a good time in that mid lane.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of that draft, you were kind of looking for a playmaker from Brame, and they swap things around. They pick that Pugna, they move Pudge into the off lane. Is Pudge enough of a playmaker here? The fact he has Marcy and Rubik as his two supports, they've got displacement for days. Their team fight going to be strong enough facing against Echo, Chrono, Exo?
They're not playing, I think, to team fight straight up into Nigma. They're playing to like use the Pugna and the Pudge to save whoever gets chronoed with like Hook or Dismember, Eat, or Decrepify, and
So you're like poking, you're baiting, you're resetting.
Yeah. And then they want to steal and kind of re-engage, because you're going to have, like, hopefully your Rubik's going to steal a Fisher, or your Rubik's going to steal Chrono. Yeah, or Exo. I mean, the Chrono obviously doesn't work on the Faceless Void, but if you can Chrono the rest of his team, you have all this damage from Pugna and Shadow Fiend to kind of unload into it with like a Hook follow-up, what have you. So I think Brame's game idea is going to be to just not give too much away to the cooldowns of Nigma and then make their move.
It's always one of those big things. You die to the big wombo combo, respawn, immediately smoke, go out and play that map as quickly as you can. And you're looking at, what, 160-second cooldown on Chrono at level 1. DP is pretty much the same story, 150. So you've got solid 2 minutes or so. 2.5 minutes.
If you really want to talk about Faceless Void, I'll be honest, whilst he's winning a lot of games, I think it's because a lot of teams don't really know how to end before he comes online. How many times have we saw Aqua when he was playing his Faceless Void, he got destroyed in lane.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people were quite upset with Nigma and saying like, okay, well, they should have banned it. But I think, honestly, like when you're in a position where you're like 10k net worth up and the Faceless Void is piss poor, let's be real, you should win that game. Like, Nigma have problems with throwing and not being able to finish out their game. And hopefully, like, looking, for Brame here, if they are in that situation, they won't be the ones that throw. I mean, whoever wins, but when you're playing against Faceless Void, you're clearly on a timer, and you have to kind of respect that. No matter how the game's going, he's probably going to get a Maelstrom, he's probably going to get a Midas. If he doesn't get a minus, well, whatever. But they try to farm for quite a long time before peaking. The damage from Faceless Void doesn't come out till much later. So you gotta respect it.
Play fast.
Yeah, I think this Pugna pick was great for that reason. We talk about DP how many times? All the things she can do, but she is restricted to the cooldown of her exorcism. Pugna is not. Pugna can, whilst he doesn't give Roshan objective, he does give tower taking potential and that threat. He's going to probably take mid tower first. He's then going to maybe want to give that mid lane to a support to get at levels or a core that's struggling, and then he'll go take top tower. And they're going to open up the map probably faster than Nigma, depending on how like this Chen plays and Nature's Prophet plays.
Yeah, you compare the 150-second cooldown of Exo to the 5-second cooldown of Netherblast, and you're like, yeah, all right. Pretty big difference there.
Yeah.
I've also got the opportunity, of course, we've seen these Marcy's scaling pretty hard. The phase boots, BKB build, get the Unleash going. But when it's in the hands of Spartan, he is and always has been not even just a position 5, but position 6 or position 7 player. He is very selfless. He very often ends up with very little farm. So I'm definitely interested to see how well he does here in getting a bit of gold on this Marcy.
For sure. It's definitely my biggest concern every time I see a Marcy. I don't remember we saw Bignum pop off really hard on his Marcy and get that BKB Basher, but I haven't seen it since. No one ever seems to really be like getting that amount of farm. Oh, that's
like Lodine tried it in the previous games, right? And he was like brown boots, ogre axe, and then I'm trying to get BKB for a long old time.
Yeah.
It looks like Brame having a few issues. Hopefully they can get that all sorted. Swap the router out or something. Definitely going to get under the skin of Nigma Galaxy here. They are itching to play.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Miracle's even dropping the Sleepy Keeper of the Lightning emote in there. What's our observer looking for? What emote is Scriff going to? He's got the Meepo Surprise hovered over. There's a Sleepy Cottle there. You're going to put the...
Drop a Scriff. No one will hate you.
Just disappear. He's
Wait, I
telling me
can
to
also press
disappear.
something?
What are you doing? Are you going to type in all chat, Sheepo?
No.
No, no.
I just wanted to see if I could, but I'm too scared to press enter, so I won't.
That's a little bit spooky.
We
I mean,
can wait.
gladly long gone are the days when observers and casters can pause. You know, think back to the Finol pause in the middle of a game, accidentally pressing F9.
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally slammed on my keyboard at the major, and someone paused at the same time as that happened. I got so scared. I was like panicking, like, "Oh shit! I've paused the game here."
This is mortifying.
What have I done? Going down in history as the caster who ruined a team fight by pausing in the middle of it.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, you just like feel every single player look angrily down at the chat and see that you paused the game. You were suddenly the ire of everyone.
Yeah, 3,000 people in the crowd booing,
jeering. I hate you, Gareth. Oh, you're the worst.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that ain't good, is it?
Oh, what? Oh, I'm guessing they're restarting their Rua.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I mean, one of them did say DDoS, and I really hope that's not the case. It's been a long time since we've had that kind of scenario.
I've been very excited to watch Brain play, so I really want to watch this game.
Yeah, especially with the draft they've got. You know, we've seen Shadow Fiend popping up. Hugner's definitely a bit of flair from Wish. He's always been one of those players. You know, I remember him back 5 years ago or something, playing in like joined Dota League and stuff like that, where he was known as like the Tinker Spammer, the SF player, stuff like that. He's always been one of the kind of flashy players.
God, yeah, Wish is the Tinker Spammer. I completely forgot that was like the only thing he was known for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God, Jesus Christ, yeah, he's grown so much. Look at him go.
Mind control says go. They're all disconnected.
Yeah, we should reply. Yeah, go.
Yeah,
gee, I'll tab in. I'll stand in, guys. Don't worry. I'm a great Pudge player.
Oh my goodness gracious me. But yeah, I think some parallels between Wish and Thompson, especially now he's got the Pugner picked up, right? Flashy player, gets up in the face of his opponents. He's not afraid of anything.
Yeah. You want to just talk about completely different player for a moment? I woke up this morning. I stretched my arms like, oh yes, what a great day to be alive. And then I opened my PC. What do I see? My boy Alacrity from Southeast Asia playing Meepo. Oh yeah, what a good day. First time picked in these quals.
Did he win?
Yes, he did. I think they went on to lose the series, which is sad, but I think he won the Meepo game. I was kind of nice to see he bought the Ags as well with the new dig.
Is that the one where you go underground, you're like invincible, like stone form from Visage kind of deal?
Yeah, exactly. But they really hyper buffed it in the last patch where it doesn't have channel time anymore. That was like probably my biggest grievance with it. But previously, I was just like, bros, this thing is on a 50-second cooldown, and if I use it and it gets cancelled, it goes on cooldown. Like as in if someone cancels it with a silence, a stun, a root, anything.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, I was like, this sucks, man. And now it's honestly very OP. The hero just kind of still sucks in the early game, which is annoying. Which is why I think a lot of people still aren't picking the hero. But it was really cool to see them play it in that match.
Oh,
and are we going?
We're blessed.
All right.
We're blessed with Dota 2.
Yeah, you're lucky. You got out of this one. I was about to talk about Meepo for like 10 more minutes, bro.
That's what I was about to start asking you questions about Meepo. What kind of items do you build?
Pause the game. Pause the game. I'm cutting the internet.
No, we're back underway. Game 1, best of 3. If you're just joining us, lower bracket round 1 here. Nigma did get dropped down by Goon Squad, so they're playing up against Brame to try and find their way towards the International 11. Brame, no slouches.
We have exhausted every single possible way that these lanes could go. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I will simply narrate what's going on. Miracle with the last hit on the range creep.
That's my job!
No! 11's about to get a last hit, bro!
Oh, the rebound in onto mind control. And then run away.
Okay. Alright, let's take bets. Where's first blood gonna happen?
I think bottom lane.
Okay. I also think bottom lane. What should be Chen?
Well, Chen, get the first blood or be first blooded?
Get the first blood. I think the nicest thing that maybe they could do bot is harass the Marcy down as much as they can, because she wants to jump in, right? If she is jumping in and trying to dispose you back or what have you, she'll probably just die if she does it on low health. She doesn't want to risk that. So if you can just harass her, keep her off the lane, then when she hits that level 2 timing, it makes it much harder for them. They do have a salve though, which means that they should be able to be fine for that timing, that they feel they can go in.
Yeah, we definitely see how difficult it is though to contest pulls and reset lane equilibrium in that bot lane against Treants, against Fisher. Up at top looks a little better for Brame. Pudge 10 and 5, storming his way up the last hit shot. Miracle 6 and 1, having a few struggles, but like you said, he's a slow starter. He blooms a little later as Nande does get that first blood in the bottom lane on mind control. Spartan,
right.
They hit level 2.
I'm really surprised they got it so deep in the lane, but yeah, I mean, good dive. The heroes have really good range on their spells to do it. No, they're going in aggressive on Nande.
Yeah, TPing straight on the SF. Treants on the right-hand side, so no body blocks coming. And they've got a rebound back in.
Close.
Potential with the mangoes, but doesn't go for it. Just hands a tango over to the SF. There's another big juicy wave going to arrive in front of his tier 1. And that is that ebb and flow of the lane. You push, you pull, you drag back, then it pushes straight back into the SF again.
Yeah, sad for mind control that I mean, he had to summon the Treants and they're like on the other side of the Fisher, but great for Nande, and they're going to be super aggressive right now on GH.
All the fairy fires up. They'll turn and try and kill him. The Treants block the path of the SF though. And Spartan, well, he's got a fairy fire himself. He's away. Nothing really lost there.
Ooh,
Mind control. He's diving. He's got Treants trying to scout out this SF. There's no way to cut through the trees. Trying to raise himself out of here, but MC, he'll have it. Retribution for the Nature's Prophet.
There is nothing scarier on this earth than getting ready to take a wave of creeps under your tower and they suddenly get glyphed. You're like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh god, what do I do?
Yeah. Good pressure. They nearly got that Earthshaker kill, would have been nice and kind of helped stop that from happening, but come back with full health and mana.
And up top, Kuro had the little cyclone creep, put it onto the Pudge, which was very irritating. There's a whirlwind following him around. But similar story here, wave has been pushed in towards him, so 11 is going to get himself some nice last hits under tower. And
he's had these creeps on the tower like the whole lane, it feels like. He's having a really good time.
Yeah. Yeah, like the first 2 or 3 minutes, it felt like, just looking at the CS board anyway, that Brame were starting to pull out ahead pretty heavily. But Nigma have done a decent job catching back up. Nature's Prophet really the only one lacking at this current moment in time.
Ooh, they're going in.
Telekinesis back Kuro. I've got this hook still. Doesn't even need it though. 11 just takes him down with a rock wall down at bottom lane. They will find MC again with this Marcy SF combo. Brame getting the upper hand in both of the side lanes.
GH gave up bot just to go on mid.
They get Wish, yeah.
Oh.
So GH comes in, swings forward. Helps Sumail get the kill there. So even if their side lanes are going a little poorly, they've got that Death Prophet in the mid getting the kill on the Pugna.
GH did a good job of body blocking the Pugna, even though the Fisher didn't completely wall him into the river.
Nice hook. Grabs Kuro. He's just come back into this lane. I don't know if they can finish him. Oh yeah, with the telekinesis they can. Drag him away from the tower. Nothing Miracle can do to really combat that. Get some hits in onto 11. He wants the bash, but it's just not coming. One more hit. There it is. 2 points in the bash will find the kill at long last. While mid lane, they diving again. This time looking for Spartan. XO from Sumail, pressuring tower with the early catapult. Nigma, they're done with Brame's laning stage nonsense. These lanes are broken down 6 minutes in. They just come for the mid tower push with MC here as well.
My god, I talked about Wish's ability to push towers, but yeah, 5 minutes, take the cart. This is a classic Nature's Prophet maneuver. I didn't even... should have thought about it, to be honest.
We did. We just didn't think it would come so soon.
Oh,
we were talking about how they get a kill, they get a team fight win, they push towers. But yeah, sure. They don't necessarily need any of those things. Just get on top of the objectives.
I think Brame, at least, I will say, doing a very, very good job of punishing the side lanes when this is happening mid. Like, yeah, sure, your GH is going mid to kill Wish, but what is Nande and Spartan doing in the meantime? They're killing Nature's Prophet. Like 11 and Desire top lane, anytime Kuroki moves out of position, they just kill him. I think Desire's done a really good job in this top lane of keeping the camps blocked and like contesting them a lot. It's like one of the reasons why Pudge has a lot of experience as well. Just kind of keeping out of his way, letting him farm under the tower, stopping Chen from doing whatever he wants. So they do have two pretty good lanes.
It's making sure Chen doesn't get the free farm of the jungle, which we've seen previously from these Chens. That gets him the fast mech. And Sumail, his rotation will lead to nothing. Well, it forces the TP from Rubik home and the Pudge away from the creep wave, so I guess it at least releases Miracle, allows him to get some creep kills.
Yep. Sad to have your rotation not work out, but the good thing about it is that you aren't losing your mid tower as a result. Like, you're not being pressured because you took that tower, the wave is super pushed in. Pugna's kind of just like farming and not taking your tower.
Nande, half health, does get the ulti out and goes for the TP. Anything to stop it? And GH already spent his Fissure, so that's a nah. They're getting a good amount of farm on these core heroes, Brame. But like I was saying at the start of the game, Spartan, it always worries me when I look at him at 500 net worth with a Sentry and 2 Tangos in his inventory, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to have space to give a lane to their supports on Brame. I mean, maybe someone like Rubik could sit bot and de-push the wave later, but I think Nande's just kind of happy to take these camps, swing to bot, push that wave out, go back into the jungle. They have a ward down on both teams, but most especially Brame having that ward there is going to mean that SF is always aware of who's in his jungle and if there's like danger afoot.
Our smoke was scouted. Enigma had the vision. They saw it coming, so MC's already TP'd away, and they're playing into mid again. MC getting drained of his life through the decrep of Wish. Not enough to kill him, while on the high ground, the DP gets disposed back in towards the SF, but it's Sumail who's fighting back harder than Brame imagined. And now this map starts to become really, really tight and confined for Brame, with both mid and bot tier 1s going down, the ward coverage from Enigma allowing them to play into that bottom jungle. This then, by extension, allows Miracle just to free farm wherever he wants to go.
Oh, they got the Chrono. Gonna probably have to use it if they want this kill.
He's pretty tanky, he is. Didn't get his flash heap off. Damage from the bashes. Add in the Spirit Siphon. But a good save from Desire. Throws them back as Nande does get a kill on GH back into that bottom jungle. It's just all kicking off. Like 9.5 minutes in, we've lost towers. People are battling in these deep areas.
I'm definitely feeling for Sumail in this game. I think a bunch of his moves have not worked out. The one mid where they took that tower was great, but this is like the second time he's come top now and not managed to get a kill. Like, 11 is getting this top tower for free. He's getting a Chrono expended on him. He's living through it. He's keeping his life. I love his itemization of this Vanguard, Ring of Protection, and a Wraith Band. So he has so much armor coming out, more than like a typical Pudge, on top of that damage resistance from Flesh Heap. So great space creation top.
They're getting so much farm on all their cores. I mean, it's a slight net worth lead for Enigma, and that is the gap that we obviously see with Kuro and GH getting a lot more farm than their counterparts. So we have the Chen mech, and we're starting to work towards that Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, as he's saved up 700 gold so far. And these are definitely items that can turn the tide of battle.
Yeah, they got mad timings as well. Like, just in general, even though that Chrono didn't work out, they understand their like ability to pressure this Pudge now a little bit better. Next Chrono they can maybe use for something else, or just bring more heroes. Understand you need someone else as well. Oh. Invis Rubik top. They're just looking at Miracle.
Yeah, just giving him a stare down. So Mask of Madness treads into Maelstrom for him, as GH did to the Shadow Fiend once more. And GH is trying to find these little pockets of farm, but Brame doing an exceptional job of making sure that he's not getting any closer to that blink.
Wow. And
yeah, what's the reasoning behind Mom over Midas here? Is Miracle just wanting to play faster with the rest of his team?
Maybe his lane just didn't go as he hoped.
Oh, mid lane, the blast on Kuro. Mech buys him a little bit of space, but Spartan able to finish the job off with Wish. GH with a Fissure, though, allowing MC to TP forward. Catch out the Marcy, no rebound available to escape.
When it comes to this Mask of Madness, to go back to what you asked, it's definitely something that I've seen Voids go when they're struggling. Because they use the the lifesteal to be able to farm the jungle. Because otherwise you just sit in the lane, you're happy, you're taking, you're getting your Midas, you're just sitting in the lane. But this it definitely went quite poorly for them. I think they did a good job on Brame of just pressuring, killing Kuroki, making the lane difficult and uncomfortable. God, they're smoking top again.
If they don't connect on a meaningful kill, it's a good Fisher block.
Great
That
block.
should be the end of 11 now. Pudge gets the Dismember out. He's incredibly tanky, nearly taking GH with him. Needed the mech from Kuro to make sure they're all topped up.
I can translate this into a tower.
Looks like they can, yeah. Like in the meantime, we've got this SF who has a mom himself. Going into that Dragon Lance.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
A very fast farmer, this Shadow Fiend. Closing on 7k, just 13 minutes in.
This Pugna definitely hasn't played out the way I thought it would. I thought he would be the one pressuring mid tower and being the one that helps take top, but he's actually played a lot around mid. It's sort of nice in a way, just because it alleviates a little bit of attention away from the Pudge early on, and this SF is recovering. I mean, his lane was fine, to be honest. It's pretty good, actually. But, yeah, they've kind of just been skirmishing around mid with supports and stuff. And letting people do their thing. But for now, like, Nigma, they've put this ward up top at the entrance to the river. So they're just going to see any hero that decides to go up there to farm. Because sometimes what heroes will do is they TP top or they walk top, and they don't show on the wave there, even though it's kind of pushing in. They'll just farm the hard camp and hide and wait and see if they can get a kill like that. So this ward just means that Nigma are always aware who's top, if they can go for a kill there, if they can go for smoke. They've got that sentry on that high ground cliff, so they know there's no ward there. There's nothing scouting them. I don't think Brame have really invaded their jungle at all, so I don't think they think there's any deep wards either. So I think top is pretty secure for Nigma right now.
Yeah, they already brute force mid and bottom lane, so they can breathe. Mind control. Caught by the rebound, dispose again. Spartan and Nande pairing up beautifully to find that kill, but the escape might not be as easy. Chrono is here, ready for Miracle, but the Requiem is going to fear them away. Spartan with the Unleash finds a double kill for Nande. Shadow Fiend picks up the double. And Nigma not wanting to chase any further because the reactions from Brame, they're bringing 2 additional heroes down here. They want to continue fighting. Nigma kind of stuck on an island, but good time walk from Miracle. Gets him away. But the pressure on the tower will come regardless.
Oh, that SF move was sick. Just hiding behind the trees. I mean, that should, you think you're going to die there. They're kind of trying to pincer you. Figure coming from below, Faceless Void coming from above. It's kind of like you're in a lose-lose situation. But yeah, using that vision advantage and hiding yourself with that ult, it turns into a kill, turns into a live. Like, that's really nice. And I think now Nigma are just trying to aim for some timing where they think they can take a good fight. They need this BKB on the DP. They can look for pickoffs with this Orchid, I think. Mind Control, he's finishing that soon in the next 100 gold. This as well, like GH is slowly working his way towards that Blink Dagger. He has to seed this farm bot to the Faceless Void, I think, who's also pretty poor.
Yeah, kind of in catch-up mode.
Yeah, it sucks when all your heroes are kind of clawing for some money. Like Kuroki playing Chen, who's like a naturally greedy support as well. Generally, you want to steal like enemy farm space with a hero like Chen or Enchantress. At least he has his mech, so he's kind of like core item's done.
Yeah.
And now you just let your other heroes have the space.
I mean, Sumail probably also itching to use this Exo to get stuff done, but he's going to have to sit back a little bit, take a back seat in this game for the next few minutes to try and get that farm going. But yeah, that move down bottom also meant that 11 was able to push out a couple of waves top, got into the jungle, farmed himself to Aghanim Scepter, which he's basically got done already.
Oh yeah, he just finished it. It's coming on courier.
That's
So
like
they
carry
have-
punch timings.
Yeah. I'm just thinking now, like, are they ready to go? We're about to finish a vessel on Pugna. I mean, they're smoking on Nigma now. They do have the Chrono. Like, they can definitely take a good fight.
It feels like they need to.
Yeah, the
I mean,
Orchid
this-
is done on Mind Control, which is a big point.
Well, this is one of those things, right, we pointed out in the draft. If they win a fight here, get 2-3 kills, they could think about Roche, they could think about these big objectives on the map. Spartan's going to be the one that breaks the smoke. Good silence from Sumail, though. Catches them both. Supports are down. Chrono landing on SF means they'll all vie for control of that high ground as they sprout and catch Nande. Decrep life drain, heal back up. The save from Wish gets him away. He's hasted. Speedy SF gets out of danger. Echo Slam from GH will catch the Pugna, though. Find the extra kill. So they do swoop through and find 2. Marcy somehow escaping that with her life, rebounding away from danger as well.
Oh, so she did. I totally thought she died.
I thought she was gone.
I was gonna correct you, like, actually, it was 3 deaths. Alright, I mean, it's not ideal that you didn't get the SF, but it's definitely a successful smoke. Any kind of move like that, which alleviates a little bit of pressure from your map and gives you that gold from kills, is gonna be alright, but you can definitely make moves now that Chrono's down.
That's the thing, though. Like, does it alleviate pressure? Like,
no, it doesn't. I lied to you. I lied to you.
You spent all your cooldowns, got a couple of kills, and again, you know, we pointed out this during the draft. They just wait to respawn and go out on the map to play the game. Get the Roshan. Get the Aegis in the hands of the SF. He's gonna Requiem the Roshan as well to make sure no one's jumping in. No stealing at all.
Alright, well, you know, it alleviated pressure for 1 minute while they did the Rosh.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah,
You know, just during that one moment, free CS, baby.
yeah, free farm for Miracle. He's got his Maelstrom now. Trying to work on that BKB.
DB's about to have hers. Miracle's quite far off his. So is Mind Control. Frame, I would say with this Aegis, they can use their Pugna to take top tier 2 if they want. Looks like they're already angling up there with other heroes a bit, but they're taking it kind of slowly. You don't have Echo Slam. You don't have Exorcism. This would have been a good moment to kind of brute force it, but I think they're just still scared. You can always get that, like, Fisher block off that and get bursted down, right? You gotta play it a little bit safe.
SF doesn't know the meaning of safe, just pushing out waves, getting up in that top lane.
Hey, he's got the Aegis, he's feeling it. I think Brame still want to play for their map control. Because Nigma, on the other hand, like, what are the things that they can do during this Aegis? They want to keep farming. They are aware that the later the game goes, the stronger Miracle is. This is their win condition. The Faceless Void outcarries all. So he's happy to just sit in this triangle and farm as much as he can. Meanwhile, Mind Control with that global presence and the teleport, he's able to just split push and throw out these trees. If they commit all their heroes to top to try and take a tier 2, I mean, GH is already set up there. He wants to defend it, it looks like. And Mind Control's just going to pressure bot with the tree ants, and you might lose your tier 2 while not even taking theirs. So I think not GH, but Nigma just want to delay.
Yeah, they're all green lit now. Everyone's got their ultis ready. And prepping with wards kind of shallow in their jungle. Try and see anyone coming. And Miracle just sticking out that triangle, like you said. Got MC will TP up top. Keep that wave pushed back. Yeah, it felt like Brame maybe were in a position here where they could start invading a little deeper, hunting for the Faceless Void, but it's been a good move from Nigma to create that barrier in front of him. Make sure there's no real way to get towards him.
Now all their teamfight spells are up. We've seen how effective Teamfight was in their series versus Goon Squad, yeah.
Sumail, the one leading the charge. Smoke breaks, Wish and Desire. Another good 2-hero silence, and a Chrono from Miracle aiming straight towards Pugna. No one to save him now. And 2 heroes dead just like that. DD Rune has spawned bottom lane. And it looks like Brame is still trying to get themselves back into their triangle to get control of the map again. But Chen, he just stands his ground and says, yeah, all right, yeah, come on then.
Yeah, he's got those creeps.
Come on then, Shadow Fiend.
Moving in.
Yeah, you're going to keep hitting me. Oh, sidekick on SF, that's a little spooky. And the hook from 11, lined it up, reels him in. Spartan jumping in. I'll aim for the Chen army instead, remove all of his troops.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So now another window, all the ultis expended. No, they've still got Exo and Echo Slam.
They have 2 ultis, but the Chronosphere is the biggest. As long as you have a BKB up and you're not getting caught by surprise by GH, you're kind of okay. I do think they should still play, you know, a little reserve. You don't want to be diving tier 2s, because that is how you sort of start to group up by accident and then you get Echo Slammed. The Nigma have a really good, like, way of disengaging
Spartan.
this as well. Oh my.
Spartan. But if you can jump the Earthshaker and stop him from jumping you, great start to the fight. Blow up GH. Mind control, trying to give chase. Nande thinking about the Requiem. But BKB popped by Sumail to move towards 11. Gets to dismember onto Miracle. Silence comes as well onto this Pudge. Miracle has to time walk away. Can't deal with the Aghanim's rot.
11 is just standing his ground. He's so tanky. It's so hard to kill him, even using this exorcism. I didn't think that mid jump would go well. I genuinely thought that they would expend the Hand of God. I thought that would be why it's hard for them to ever dive a tier 2 tower, but they didn't feel like using it on GH. I think just because they understand, like, okay, well, he's gonna respawn pretty quickly anyway, and he already got his Fisher off.
And this game is slipping pretty quickly. There's not much in it net worth wise, but in terms of Core's getting farmed, Shadow Fiend is right up at the top, a good 4,000 ahead of the nearest counterpart in mind control. They've got map control as well, and taking out that mid tier 2 into the top jungle to grab the outpost. I mean, Nigma, yeah, you've been saying going into late game, they're going to feel reasonably comfortable with this Faceless Void in their hands, but they need more time to get there. Weather this storm for the next 5-6 minutes.
Well, we're bound to hit the mind control BKB timing. Miracle also kind of getting in there. And Aegis has expired. I mean, they've been using their smokes on Nigma primarily around this Chronosphere, and now that it's up again, maybe we see that again. It looks like Brame are trying to beat out that timing and you know, start by themselves. They smoke up first. They want to taking the initiative. Because Nigma are trying to be greedy. They are trying to get a lot of net worth. So they're splitting their heroes on the map. Like Void being bought.
Just look at Spartan. He's just sprinting towards. Is there a hero here? I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it.
That is what one tends to do with a smoke.
Yeah. Well, he's like 1,000 rage ahead of any of his teammates.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got no one to rebound off. Nothing.
Oh, he doesn't even have a blink. It's very, very.
Oh, he's incredibly poor.
Yeah. I mean, you were right, by the way. He is like position 6. I've been watching his net worth on the net worth graph the whole game. Oh my god. He had like brown boots for the longest time.
It's Spartan. I remember the days of him playing like Bane and not having brown boots 15 minutes in. Like
Jesus Christ.
that's how selfless this guy has been through his career. But he brings great huddles, great team fight shot calling. And he is definitely the voice and the leader of every team he's been involved in.
Yeah. It's like, oh guys, I noticed there's a sentry in stock. Don't worry, I'll fix that for you. Alright, well here comes the smoke. They do not have Faceless Void with them. His BKB is arriving now. Maybe he'll TP top or just connect to his team. It looks like they're just going to kind of smoke towards Void instead and play it that way. Play off this haste rune.
Nice. MC set up bottom tier 2 as well. The great strength of this Prophet. Similar as the Dawnbreakers, the Spectres of the game. Able to play away from your team and then TP in as they catch the Marcy. Quickly take her down. MC didn't even need to TP, so he can stick it bottom if he wants to.
Yeah. I think Mind Control's been doing a nice job of using the Treants to scout things as well. He's just been like sending them around the map a little bit. Like even then, I think 11's Pudge was scouted by a Treant. And he just like forced a little bit back. Wasn't in position to save the Marcy when they went on her.
Well, it feels like they've broken past that period of spookiness with the Aegis on the SF. Now 30 seconds to wait until fast spawn, and that's where it's really going to start brewing, these team fights. Like if Brame aren't able to get a pick off and go into Roche, I don't know, I struggle to see them like sneaking it or going in there raw, because Nigma do have that Chrono, the Blink Echo, you know,
It's so scary.
They've got to set up for Roshan rather than just go for it. They're trying to come bottom. Nande, Invis with the Requiem, left across. Fear is there onto the Faceless Void, and the heals aren't enough. They tried with the Hand of God to keep him alive. Now he's dead for 47. And Roche alive in 40.
I think if they had a smoke right now, they could just run back top. It's where, you know,
the important stuff is.
Exactly, yeah. But they won't have that, so they'll just kind of run instead. This gem on Spartan, I really like that pickup when you're ahead or trying to play a lineup like this where you're a bit, you know, afraid of getting to that late game. Being able to limit how much vision they have, especially when they're playing so many teamfight heroes that want to initiate and want to have vision to know the targets to get. Like, this gem is very important. I mean, Nigma have amazing wards right down right now and have had for quite some time. This one in the triangle has gone undewarded for the entire duration. They have multiple cliff wards. This top is so secure for them. Whereas I don't think there's any vision for Brame. They need to think about how they want to tackle getting into this area as Roche starts to approach.
Yes, it's definitely definitely one of the struggles when you're playing this 5-man unit against the Chen, the Prophet, the DP. They're all split pushing, shoving out top, TPing bot to get that lane pushed out as well. Yeah, ping-ponging around the map, trying to contend with and deal with all these issues. And that leaves Roshan potential team fights open around the pit.
Yeah. So they used scan on Brame, so they knew Nigma Galaxy was playing up there. They're gonna play it carefully. I think both teams are now aware that this Roche is the big thing, and I think they're just gonna kind of slowly poke and prod it on Brame. They have the gem; they'll want to like slowly deward as they go. I think Nande being up like this is a bit scary, because yeah, this is he got scouted. Miracle's literally staring at him right now.
Yeah, doesn't want to make the jump just yet though.
Yeah, he'll just get hooked out. It's really risky to do that with no vision. I mean, they had vision, but it's gone now.
Time to go again? Oh, they're just gonna wait. No, you can't just walk into the pit like this.
No.
Oh, the Treant dies. They're going for it. Nigma.
That is damage.
Nigma have a scan, and oh god, you're right. This sidekick SF doing 400 damage a pop.
Well, they're running.
Roshan is nearly dead already. He's trying to go for the Requiem, but he's been bashed up. Fisher from GH. They know they're inside, and they chrono the SF. Miracle with his BKB by the save with a hook. Requiem now from Nande. Spartan's about to drop the Sumail, charging towards him, and a snatch from 11. Grabs the Aegis inside the pit. MC with his BKB TP. Oh, inside the Sprout. He's away safe and sound. GH with another Fisher block as they buy back Marcy. Pudge holds the Aegis. Nigma spend the majority of their team fight ultis for this, but a minor win from Brame?
That was hype. They stole the shot on Nigma, but the Aegis steal was great. I mean, I thought he was gonna go like 8 different ways. Like, okay, SF's in the pit, he's gonna get the Roche, but then the Fisher from the Earthshaker, yeah, he can't get it, and then Miracle's just in there. I was so sure he had
Watch
that
it back.
Aegis.
Watch it back.
It was like so scary. This like total clip on the edge. What a great hook save.
Decrep, life drain, hook save. 11 blinks in to grab the Aegis. And a stolen chrono in the end as well from that Rubik.
11, the massive MVP of that fight. Like, not only does he save the SF from the chrono, but then he makes up for like no hero being in the pit anymore to then go and steal the Aegis. Like, what a Chad. It is definitely super sad for Nigma though. Like, they get a shard as a a little pay prize, but like you just weren't like kind of set up enough. I mean, they stole it basically from right under your nose. They gave that one moment where they walk back and suddenly they lose it all. But
and now really a lot on the shoulders of GH with his blink level 2 Echo Slam. Yeah. SF doesn't have Aegis, so they make the move on him with a quick lift. The telekinesis stops the combo. No chain stuns for you. 11's in the midst of it all as well. It does die. First life gone. SF turning to fight. Life steals a bit, but Sumail survives. Pudge now stuck up on this high ground, being drifted away. Was that the seal totem allowing him to bounce over the Fisher? Miracle wants blood now. Desire is in the trees. Fisher is there. So the Void can unload a bit of damage onto him, but the hook across into the Unleash Nod. Just a bit of a poke onto Nigma. Make them feel uncomfortable. As Mind Control TPs forward, but won't be able to catch any of the retreating members of Brame. They get the tier 3. They lose the SF and the Aegis. But it's such a fearful situation for Nigma to be in right now.
Yeah, that was definitely a pretty poor like high ground siege from Brame. Maybe relying on, or 11's been so tanky all game, maybe they thought he would live for much longer, but he died pretty fast with that Aegis, and SF got put down so low. You're playing into no Exorcism and no Chronosphere. I think they could have taken it maybe a little bit slower just to kind of siege with this Pugna, not overcommit. Now you've lost your Aegis, which feels bad, and you've given Nigma time for their cooldowns to come back up. So I think like Nigma in a very commanding position right now. You see already in their moves, they're just like taking this triangle area, trying to get as much map as they can in this period of respawn. This is the kind of mistakes that I think are going to give Miracle this way to get the Scotty, get the damage item. Whether he wants to go something like an MKB, a Butterfly. We've seen Butterfly be very effective, just more and more attack speed, more and more agi.
Yeah, it feels like
through.
I'm struggling to really describe my emotions on this because, oh god, Nande, oh, he's been dusted, he's been spotted inside his Silver Edge, caught out by Miracle and Sumail. They've got a hook across on the Faceless Void though, gets his BKB off before the Dismember, but the Shadow Fiend's down and out, and Miracle is chasing the Pudge with a Chrono on him. They'll find 11, and yeah, Nigma have broken past the fearful phase of this game. They've got towards mid to late game now with this Faceless Void. It was looking like Brame were in such a dominant position with the Roshans they've taken, with a move up to high ground, but maybe handing too much to Nigma now.
You can never get carried away. It's the one big problem. You gotta keep it tight, keep it clean. We've seen how slow some of these games can get with these teams not wanting to give anything away. One small mistake. Obviously now they did use their cooldowns. It becomes another back and forth of, okay, they've used Chrono, guys, we can go fight. I think SF, when he respawns, he needs to just recouple his souls, and then maybe they could make a move. This is a Scotty finish now, a Miracle. He's looking really good. I think Mind Control as well, finishing that Bloodthorn, it really showed off for them in that last fight. Just how easy it was to kill Pudge in that Chrono with the extra damage and crit.
Yeah. And this Faceless Void just feels like such a trump card. You know, he's got late game security with scaling. He's got team fight contribution through Chrono. It's always one of those kind of safety nets you have here as Enigma, having overwhelming team fight through him and the Earthshaker. Oh no, Brame. Nande. He goes up high ground, hits into Sumail a couple of times. But look at GH. Eyes on him. Wait for that Blink Echo Slam. He's hidden. There's no vision. Oh, but they have spotted him. They get a bit of ward coverage on the high ground and tried to play towards Miracle's Void. Hook into Dismember, but the BKB comes. The stolen Chrono onto Sumail. Locks him in place, but they found the Rubik kill. Snipe him in the back, and Sumail's too tanky to contend with. Spartan tries to unleash, and Shadow Fiend thinking about the Requiem. Brame trying to reset around this Marcy with a Requiem Fear, pushing Mind Control back, but GH, with these Fissures and the Shard, he's just chain stunning people for days. He's got the Force and the Blink and the Echo. He's got the two of them locked in place, and Nigma, they've got this game secure now for sure. 2 cores gone, the chase for more. Oh, the hook will try and save the Rubik, but it's not going to work. The stolen Echo Slam looks fancy, but doesn't do a damn thing. A triple for Sumail. He's going to be crowned the king of this game now as they break up high ground. Look for these tier 2 towers in the middle lane. Maybe push up top for the tier 3s. They've killed all 5 of Brame.
Yeah, you could definitely take... got a lot of racks here. There's not very many buybacks. You have 30 seconds till SF's up, but that's without souls. So they can take this top here, maybe then swing around to the mid tier 2 at the least if they want to play it carefully. But Chrono's back up, Gary. You're respawning into a Chronosphere. They're starting to play their cooldowns the right way. Hey, we're like, okay, Chrono's down. Now we got you with the Echo Slam. Now Echo Slam's down. We got you with the Chrono.
Ulti cycling to perfection.
Yeah.
Sumail with his Exo takes top lane. Mid tier 2's easy, and they just walk up the ramp.
Doesn't feel good to be a Brame fan right now, but they still got tools. You know, if there's a Chronosphere, but they still have the Pudge Hook to save from it. You have the Pugna saves potentially as well. But this is looking like maybe another Rax here if they can't stop them.
Miracle just gonna shrug it off. 2 lanes of barracks for Nigma. Really hitting their stride now. Mind Control swiftly down to bottom to push that lane in. And Brame, they've spent so many of their smokes. They've got 1 on the Marcy. It feels like they've got to do something here to get in behind Nigma, find the Earthshaker, stop that surprise initiation, because allowing Nigma just to come up high ground here. Risky prospect. Requiem left, Dismember in. They found Miracle. They've got the Faceless Void. Beautifully executed by Brame. Hand of God will try and keep Mind Control alive, but that's not working out for them. Nande picks up a double kill as they hold their high ground.
That area control with the SFO is so sick. Just like no one can really get in and save him because everyone's feared. It's very nice. And just being able to cover it as well. How many times they've done this game where Desire just gets that lift off, which just makes sure that they cannot react at all to the ult. I know they were doing that earlier. I didn't check if they did it then. but yeah, super well executed, good defense. I was getting worried because I was like, yeah, they don't really have that typical team fight spell like a Black Hole or the Echo Slime, Chronosphere, things that kind of ensure that you can fight back like that. But yeah, they use that. that Requiem very well.
That's
Gives
so
them
nice.
bit of breathing room. They still have Chrono when they respawn on Nigma though.
And Brame do recover their gem. It was left on the deck in the Radiant Triangle, so they've managed to find that back. 2.5 minutes for next Roshan as well, so yeah, it's plenty of time for Nigma's cooldowns to come back up. Maybe even get a team fight, use them, reset, and then go Roche with the next round.
It felt like, seeing those previous fights, Brame really struggle when their initial jump goes poorly. Because we saw Nande just walk in and start to click away. And you had this like Rubik Chronosphere onto the DP, but I think Void kind of jumped away, and he just sort of altered the quick, snappiness of Brame's initiation. And because it elongated how long the fight went off, like the BKB started to run out, everyone was sort of starting to be a little bit out of position for all this team fight, and it just kind of, I don't know, put Brame on edge, and they had to kind of start to run away, and everything sort of fell apart. It feels like they really need this sort of, in a situation like that anyway, it feels like they really need that quick jump and kill. Like, someone's dismembered and then they're dead, or someone is requiemed and then they're dead, right? Anything that goes longer, you start to be at threat of all this DP damage, this Chronosphere, this Echo Slam. Even, like, Mind Control now is just scaling as that third core where he has the Nullifier and the Bloodthorn.
The Doomstick, it's ready.
Yeah. But a great close game.
Thinking about item progression, I keep looking at Spartan, honestly. Like,
please don't look at him. He's
fluffy hair. He's got a
You're making fun of him.
Oh, poor little guy.
Alright, here we go. All spells up. Ooh,
Everyone's ready. 11 Pudge blinks away. Caught, but dragged away with the telekinesis and dispose. Spartan is open. So they'll chase him down instead. And now Brame a little separated. Yeah, Nande has to TP away.
Do you think Nande's like terrified as his Marcy is just running directly behind him in his direction? It's like, can you run somewhere else, please? You're leading everyone towards me.
Go south, go south.
Go south. Run, run.
This entire map just crawling with Nigma heroes, though. And they go top, they swing there, take control of triangle. They're into mid, pushing wave. MC grabbing outpost down bottom.
I think anytime you're Brame, as long as if they're using their smokes and they're not getting a core kill, I think you can be pretty happy with that as Brame. Oh, he is seeing Mind Control.
They do have eyes on him and kill off the Nature's Prophet, but I think that's a price Nigma are willing to pay. 2 heroes, 3 heroes showing bottom means Roshan is a freebie for them.
It is. Good heads up though, I think Mind Control has been playing bot the entire game, which is obviously really good because he's constantly applying pressure, he's making you have to think about that lane, he's making it so that, Brame are committing a Rubik to the bot lane and stuff throughout the mid game instead of being able to run as 5. But yeah, at some point you recognize the pattern. Okay, he's gonna be there, let's go gank him. And it was a really nicely executed gank there.
Oh, going on 11, oh my god, yeah, Miracle. This goes in with a Chrono, the Ags, the stolen Chrono back. Spartan's already dead, and 11 trying with his BKB, with the Life Drain healing him, but Wish becomes the focus of Miracle now. There's another fight in the back as well. Focus all over the place as Nande. Oh, can he get away from this? He's spent everything. No Silver Edge and no Hurricane Pike, but he has the Life Drain until the stuns come. GH and Miracle landing the Fishers and the Bashes right when they needed to.
Oh yeah, they got that Nullifier now on Mind Control that makes the save from Wish so much harder to put out. I mean, they're dealing too much damage for this Pugna Life Drain to mitigate as well.
There's no buyback on SF. So that means Exo from Sumail will lead to Mega Creeps. Mind Control TP's back across after buying back himself. Desolator there for MC. Gonna shred through these buildings. Miracle trying to take down the Nether Ward, but just poking at Wish a little bit there. Try to put this game out of contention now. This Aghanim's Void, incredibly irritating with his shard on top of it. Just time walking, rewinding, bashing on his way through. And Tier 4's open season for Nigma to break down these buildings and close out game 1, 41 minutes in. 20 more seconds for SF, but in comes Miracle. Bashing, cruising. GH with a Fisher block, keeping them in their fountain, and Miracle, yeah, just time walks in and clears out the Rubik. GG called, game 1 is done, and Nigma after Maybe a shaky start in the first 15 minutes. Exceptional play from Brame. Enigma come back with their overwhelming team fight capabilities.
Indeed, yeah, they definitely executed their lineup to what it wanted, right? They tried to play it kind of safe. We need this Faceless Void to get his items. Whenever he has Chrono, I think they did a really good job of bringing him and getting him involved and using that spell. Obviously, they had a lot of problems around, on the way. I won't say it was a flawless game. There was, wasted Chronos and mistakes made that led to just losing those Roches, not being super on top of like contesting it, for example. I think Brain played incredibly all game long. Like considering how hard it is for them to team fight into the overwhelming team fight of Nigma, they really, really impressed me with how they were, just executing their spells. Like their spell usage, chef's kiss.
Yeah, especially when you lose two tier 1 towers in the first 8 minutes, right? You're losing map control quickly against the Nature's Prophet. But yeah, it's got to be said, great patience and very, very deliberate waiting game, basically, from Nigma to get those BKBs, get their item timings. And Sumail, deathless in that game, 13-0-12. Stellar performance from that DP from early game pushing and pressure along with mind control to then, of course, being that tanky frontliner, just giving space for Miracle to open up on his opponents.
Yeah, like even when his like early game rotations, didn't really work out, he was still farming like through the jungle towards them or back from them, and keeping up in net worth to be able to have that impact. I don't know. I think they played really nicely and just got to their timings. Obviously, like Brain messing up on that high ground push was probably a big key turning point for this game as well.
Yeah, it was a rough one having 11 holding A, just not ideal for them, but they tried to make the most of what they had. But Nigma taking game one, a good solid lead for them. Lower bracket run begins now. We'll take a quick break and return, see if Brame can maybe even things up, as game two will be coming your way right after this break.
Is what we live and breathe. For us, it's more than a game. It's a reality where a group of letters can mean everything. Where runes are collected and Aegis can only be won in battle. Where centaurs can give you a ride. Where the true heroes are those in front of the screen. GG Bet. This is real.
Welcome back to your TI11 Western European Regional Qualifiers. We're down in the lower bracket with Nigma and Brame. Game one already in the books, as it looked like Brame were, getting ahead of things, looking for that game one victory, but Nigma, with the patience, the team fight, were able to combat and come back after about 40 minutes of gameplay. Cheapo, looking towards game two. Anything you want to change or anything you want teams to do the same going into this next match?
It's a little hard to say because whilst Brame obviously did do well and they got to that point where they could potentially win, and we saw some throws and kind of sloppiness that did lead to that complete turnaround. At the same time, I think Nigma were in a good position throughout most of the game. Like, you know, you look at the scores at the end of the game. Sumail's 13-0-12, you know, Miracle's 6-2-13. You compare that to Wish on his Pugna, he's 2-5-2. He was only a part of 4 kills. In terms of the ability for Brame to actually like straight up murder people, it was like their fights were a lot more complicated. They executed it, which, you know, massive props. They played great. But it was rough for them. It was a lot on Nander and his Shadow Fiend to do all the damage and kill people, whereas Wish was more of that supporting role, trying to keep him safe. 11-2, he was only 2-5-6. He had some great hooks and stuff, but yeah, it was their fights were so technical. It was just so much like repositioning and stuff, and yeah, and it felt very unequal in terms of what core needed to do the most on Brame.
Yeah, it's like it felt like one slip up was the end, the downfall of Brame in those team fights. Whereas it's much simpler for Nigma to kind of just wait things out, be a little more patient, and of course, as we get into the latter stage of the game, Faceless Void always going to come out the victor. Yeah,
that hero's dumb. It should be banned. Do not ever let that hero into second phase, honestly.
It might even be worth just first phase banning it along with your Lenas, your Undyings, your Chens, your Bat Riders, stuff like that. No first phase ban.
If a team is first phasing Faceless Void, I feel like you should be able to mount a good draft against it. Like, even though Nigma lost in their series to Goon Squad to it, right, in that game 3, they set themselves up to have a really good game off the back of that early Void pick, right? So I do feel like the hero is punishable, but definitely I wouldn't let it through the second phase, because then things do start to get a little bit weird.
For me, it feels like the pairing of like Void Chen can't be allowed to be in the hands of these teams, because Void just time walks. He's got the heal from Chen. He's not really bothered in lane. He's going to get his farm, even if it is uncomfortable, like it was in that early laning stage for Miracle. But he found his footing, got himself back into the match. As our draft for game 2 is preparing, almost ready and underway here for your viewing as Nigma take on Brame, and first band's going to start coming out for us as well. I want Spartan to have some items in this game, so I would like to see him have a hero that can maybe hit some creeps, push out some waves on a support. Yeah. I think you're right with that Pugna. We really didn't see much impact out of that Pugna. You know, he lost his tower early on, didn't get to pressure opponent tower, and then he kind of came a Nether Ward and Decrep bot saving people inside Chronos. It was a challenge for Wish to really plant himself on the map and do anything meaningful.
Yeah, I agree. I just would like... Here's the thing, I don't want to say like, oh yeah, do something that's easier to execute. I think they showed last game that they definitely have the technical skill to pull off like a little bit more awkward drafts on Brame's side. The only thing is just, if you're going to do that, you have to make sure that your moment when you can win is very clean and you know, slow, and you're not giving anything away. Because giving stuff away to a lineup that outscales you the way that Nigma's did is just, you know, death. And I'm fine with Spartan playing Poverty Pos 5.
Okay.
If that is what makes him happy. You know, the way you don't tell Schofield not to feed halfway across the world on the other side of the map, you don't tell Spartan to farm.
Just don't hit creeps.
Don't hit creeps.
Make space, buy time for your cores. Get them big and fat.
We'll see Are we gonna see any spice up in the bands? We'll probably see some exchange of like Death Prophet and Undying.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, there's the Faceless Void first phase ban. He's out of here. None of that, but it does leave Undying as that first pick. So the other hero that was left in was Dawnbreaker. She was banned first phase by Nigma in the previous game.
Okay. Well, Brame prefer Undying, as most teams do, I believe. Nigma could respond with Alina. They could respond with the DP. They could...
5 seconds
They definitely can't respond with Faceless Void. You know what? You did call it. It got banned. I guess if you're not confident to play against it, then fair enough, honestly.
After the terrors of playing against Goon Squad, I do not blame them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's Chen, of course, too. So Chen DP. Very... We're probably going to see way more of this as the patch goes on, I'll be real with you.
It's such a good platform, right? Because it's tower push. You have laning and you have tower push. So you can add on team fight, you can add on catch and kill heroes, split push if you want to go that way. It's a nice little avenue to branch off of early on in the draft.
Now with this Bat Rider, it's a lot of pressure onto mid lane. Assuming he's going there. Makes it very scary. They're clearly like, yeah, we're we want to force Death Prophet off this mid lane, go to the off lane, and we're just gonna ban like the Queen of Pain, which seems to be the biggest hero that every Rider player is having issues with right now. And they could also, yeah, like something like Storm is no longer needing to be banned, so I don't think they care about that. They'll just ban other stuff that Nigma like to play. Is GH IO a big one?
Yeah, you maybe even consider coming back for, I don't know, the Omnis and the Abaddons, stuff like that. That can dispel all of that stuff off. I don't know, it might be a bit tricky when you've got Chen on your lineup. You want GH on these active playmaking position 4s like Earthshakers.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to put him on a hero like that. It's not like he's not good at them. Obviously, you know, GH's IO is in that similar vein, and he's fantastic at that.
5 seconds.
The biggest issue I see is just it becomes again a game of we have no supports that can do stuff on the map, and when Batrider's just gonna get his boost of travel and try and run the game, if you don't have stuns and stuff like that, it really sucks. And even if you have that support, usually these support heroes like Omni Knight, Abaddon, whoever have you, they come with the cost of being sluggish. They don't have mobility. They,
Radiant
you know, they're
team ban.
usually quite poor as well because they don't have great ways to farm. So when you have a hero like that, it does, you know, it can put you in a risky position. I'm not saying that they won't pick that 100% because I've definitely seen it many times.
It definitely has downsides. They become these static, like, you know, servants to the cause. Sit behind them with their saves. Yeah, a good bit of respect being put on GH's name there. IO and Earthshaker both removed, like you were talking about.
Yeah, I want to see either something that can play make, something that has some damage. I want to maybe see something that can help deal with the Tombstone. I want something that can respond if Batrider dives mid, or at least pick a mid that doesn't care about it. Maybe some puck, we'll see a puck or something.
And then what do we see from Brame? Because they've shown their kind of 5 and their potential 2/3. So we're still looking for some of these hero pairings.
Yeah, what can they? I mean, the ball's kind of in their court depending on what they see next, because at that point they reveal. Well, they probably reveal.
Oh yes.
That's nice.
GH Earth Spirit.
Exactly what you wanted. That's perfect for me. It's a playmaker. It can respond to mid dives. Literally gives me everything I want. It doesn't deal with the tomb, so that might be something you look for at the end here.
10 seconds.
But they kind of need to see what Brame take and then counter that, and then also think about something that can deal with the tomb. Maybe there's an Ursa Bear in the future. Maybe Troll Warlord could see that. But yeah, for Brame, right now there's a lot of magic damage. Not very many reliable stuns. You could probably abuse that in some way. I've seen people play like the Morphlings. There's silences to play around. That's probably the biggest problem. But yeah, stuff that doesn't really care about stuns. I mean, you could pick a Terrorblade here, for example, would be pretty nice. Some high armor versus the physical damage and the DP ult and the Chen creeps. Something that can go jungle if you get pressured really hard. Pretty nice matchup there against DP2. The only issue is obviously Nigma have the last pick of this phase, and they can abuse you potentially. So say you picked TB plus whatever else support, maybe then you get PL'd, for example.
Yeah. Things get rough from there on out.
Yeah.
Oh, Tiny.
Dead hero. Whoa.
Potentially their position 4 here. So I was starting to think of, you know, do we go for like a Dawnbreaker or something for Brame? Because that's pretty good when Batrider's chasing, you know, your Solar Guardian on top of them. You keep that fight going around a Tombstone.
10
A decent amount of heals.
Tiny. I know Wish. Oh no, I guess Wish is gonna play the Batrider, right? Oh no, 11 likes Batrider. There's a potential this could be a mid Tiny and a offlane Batrider, or an offlane Batrider with a 4 Tiny. And they haven't even revealed their mid yet.
Smoke and mirrors, keeping everything hidden.
Yeah, this dumb flexible drop. Every drop is so flexible now. It's so hard to know. I don't even know if this is mid or offlane. I genuinely have no idea what they're doing.
Flapping wings in unison with a bat, though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of lane pressure, though, having Undying and Viper. Batrider as well. There's a lot that you've got to deal with here as Nigma.
10 seconds.
Yes, you need to just pick a carry now that can lane into either Bat or Viper, which is a tall ask, tall order.
We've seen a bit of Slark come back into play. What are your feelings on that hero?
Slark is a little risky, only because, like, if you're playing into Viper, it's you kind of get spit on right quite often to the point where the Q is not enough to really purge it all, and you're like losing a lot of health. Like pre-6, you can be bullied pretty hard by Viper. It's definitely an option though if they want to play more for a mid-game timing. I know they've. Okay, Jug is fine. I was gonna say
way
people have
safer.
played. Yeah. That's. I will say it's the same problem where the spin is on such a long cooldown that you can still be bullied. But I think the hope here is that Chen will be enabling him to lane well. Like Brame are gonna have to block those camps. And stop him from getting creeps. Because when he gets creeps, I think Tiny and Viper both kind of struggle to deal with them.
And then you've got Healing Ward to fall back on. And the one thing Brame have got to do is keep tabs on their mana pool, right? Bringing mangoes, bringing more mana regen by a Ring of Bassi or something. Because they do spit out a lot of spells very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm
also a huge... Oh, yeah, that's good, yeah. I was going to say I'm a huge fan of Tiny Viper as well. Just as a duo. One of my biggest issues with Viper is that he is so slow. And when you're playing a slow hero like Viper, it makes it hard for you to get on top of people, and the Atos build kind of got phased out a while ago. So having a Tiny who's able to go first for you, avalanche, toss someone back into you, it just makes your life a lot easier. I'm not talking about the lane, I'm talking more into the mid-game. Just, yeah, Tiny really helps you. If you're like farming nearby, he can always kind of help connect heroes to you.
Yeah, it's like during Arlington group stage, one of the most popular duos in first phase pick was Marcy Viper, right? You have that displacement, you've got decent lane, got the ability to keep chasing people down and kind of unlock the potential of the Viper to keep going.
Yeah.
Now, MC getting banned out. Nature's Prophet and Darkseer both gone. There's still the option here to put DP in the offlane with that Earth Spirit and still grab a Sumail hero as your last pick.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be though that can lane into the Batrider really well. Maybe they want to do Puck. I know now that Puck's nerfed, a lot of people have stopped favoring it, but at least during Arlington, Tiny wasn't really dissuading Pucks anymore. Like a lot of people were happy to play into it. And it's a support, so it's kind of like whatever. That being said, Sumail had a baller game on Death Prophet, and I think that sometimes factors a lot into who plays the hero the next game. He probably feels great, he's happy to play it again. And we will just see a mind control hero.
Yeah, just in the mood for a little bit of DP.
Yeah. I mean, what could you play? You could play Visage, maybe. You don't have an initiator, like, other than Earth Spirit, but that's not the worst. Like, DP's gonna be able to just have a BKB and run in, you have a Earth Spirit roll. I mean, right now, I think Brame...
What is that?
Dude, they struggle so hard with units. If Mind Control wants to just take some, like... Lycanthrope, yeah, Visage. It looks... Actually, I guess the Clinx's the Barrage spell is not that bad, but it's dodgeable, right? You can just walk out of the mouth.
Walk away from it.
Just walk away.
I mean, yeah, Clink's going to give you a lot of physical damage, decent tower push there as well. And I guess with like Burning Army, Burning Barrage is pretty good in choke points to try and burst people down. Definitely a unique pick, though, and unusual to see it here. And also unusual that it's not an absolute last pick, right? Usually with these flavor picks that come out, they are grabbed completely at the very end, but maybe a bit of upset here, right? If Nigma have not played against this, like, what do we do? What do we pick against the Clinks?
I just feel like you can abuse this with either mobility or units. Like the Puck we talked about would be... I mean, like, they have no stuns. They're going to be relying on trying to get some Orchid or something on Clinks, maybe? Or...
Choose your hero.
Derm? Yeah, okay, I can see it. This works too. It's just a different idea that I didn't really think about. You know, letting Sumail and Miracle have, like, free reign over a fight because you've doomed, like, the only thing that can stop them seems like a perfectly fine idea, and...
It feels like a similar story to what we saw between DGG and Ivy. You think about these matchups, those matchups. Ivy wanted to play a little bit faster. DGG wanted to play into that late game to get pleb built up. And maybe a similar story here where Nigma feeling game one, feeling that they can be a little more patient, waiting until 30 plus minutes. So Miracle and Mind Control and Sumail all have the farm that they need. Doom is always one of those heroes that's going to get the gold.
Yeah, he does, and if his lane is bad or anything, I mean, how many times now have we seen Dooms that don't mind, especially if the other 4 are good at playing together, which they are. Like, Jug can easily get involved if they want to run him mid and push the tower a bit and then just spin out. As long as Wish isn't there with a lasso, there's nothing that really stops him. Like, they have no way to cancel his, like, spin TP or spin out other than lasso, which probably lends to some peace of mind as long as you, like, can see the Batrider on the map and what have you. So yeah, maybe they can get him involved. Maybe they can smoke to his lane in the safe lane. I feel like all of Braim's heroes are very killable.
It's like, what's the scaling like for Braim? Like, I look at this and I think Bat, Viper, Tiny, Undying. Once they're going to hit a brick wall 25, 30 minutes in where, Nigma, if they've managed to kind of weather that storm, get through lane stage, they're in a good spot. Then Clinks is thrown in there, and I don't know. Like, I do not have a good read on where Clinks is, what he's meant to be doing. Last time I saw him, it was, Arteezy buying Maelstrom, Sumail rushing Maelstrom, buying 2 branches and literally going Javelin, farming Ancient stacks. It might be the same story now, still.
Well, just because of the way the draft plays out, I want to, like, talk about Nigma's last pick as the key to, like, their draft, but Braim definitely are not, like, worthless here. Like, their draft is good. The thing that they have is absolute lane domination. They want to win their lanes really hard. This Doom, he's picked here, he can recover here, sure, but like DP, if she gets halted hard mid, if they rotate with Tiny, toss her back and just like kill her, I mean, they can really like make it hard for her. Obviously she's going to get exorcism and be able to still go for objectives, but like if you kind of shut down Sumail's game, it really hurts the tempo of Nigma, who need DP to be the one that kind of goes and does stuff for them. Same way with like Jug, if they can just shut him down and kill him, he's just going to be like sitting in the jungle. He doesn't want to come connect and help the team fight that much. He needs to recover. He needs his Midas.
Yeah. The hands of Midas.
Yeah, like they have really strong lanes. They have Undying, they have Viper, they have the Batrider, they have abilities to rotate and contest these runes. They have ways to take tower with this Clinks. It's definitely not looking bad at all.
Pretty wild
Clinks.
bounty rune fights, honestly.
Weird.
People backstabbing, going in around. Still going to end in a 2 for 2.
Yeah.
But a D-Ward mid from Spartan there going to be denied by GH.
I think Clinks is a hero that is starting to see way more picks recently. In general, whereas before he felt pretty unseen, and when he would come up, people don't really know what he does. My experience of watching him in pro games is just that while he is a little bit slow, this barrage really lets him farm hard. Like, he can do ancients, he can farm the jungle. He is a much harder farmer now than his old designs. Also, Spawn doing a great job here of walling mind control of the lane, and now he needs to connect this lane to the one that GH is pulling. Yeah. Unfortunately, doesn't get the range creep. But that's fine.
It does get the Devour on it.
The Clinks is really strong. And with these items that he buys, he goes like a lot of damage. He can get like Daedalus. I've even seen like some Rapiers coming out. This hero does a lot of damage. The amount of little skeleton burning armies as well, like that seems to be quite value. And it makes it so hard to fight because they do a lot of damage, and they are just everywhere in a fight. It makes your supports like feel super hard to kind of walk up and get into the fight. Like if you're not building a lot of armor, it can completely demolish you.
Yeah, don't even need the Aghanims. Just get the shard and have them pop out when you're invis.
Yeah, just every little thing makes fighting into Clinks quite difficult. But the counter to him, obviously, he's just a little boy. If you can get on top of him, you can simply kill him.
Break his brittle bones.
Yes.
Well, Spartan, like you said, doing a good job getting up in the face of mind control with all these lane manipulations going on, dragon waves back and forth. And GH going to try and do a similar job on Nande there. Of course, we've got that mid DP against the Batrider, where it looks like Sumail taking an early lead against Wish. 14-2 against the 8-0 of the Bat. Well, this does start to change a little bit once we get level 3, level 4 on Wish. Get his bottle refilled. Look towards these solo kills. Spirit
the level
wand.
4's a big one to watch for.
Spirit Siphoning Wand going to be so annoying, though. And
Yeah,
Kuro might just be the first blood. Poison attacks coming out of 11. He's got Mango there if he needs it, but decided just to go with the raw right clicks instead. Grab that first kill on the Chen. It does mean that Miracle's left to his own devices, not being touched by the Viper too much.
I'm seeing this so reliably now with these teams where they block the medium camp with the ward. I wonder if we'll see teams start to just bring the sentry early and like get that free gold. It's like free gold and XP. It could honestly change the lane because you get your level 2 faster.
Yeah.
Like if you give your carry the last hit as well on it, I don't know, it just seems like I've seen it twice in the series in a row, and I've seen it in other series too. I think teams will start to pick up on it soon when they watch replays and... Or just from when they deward it, because they do deward it eventually.
Yeah, it's like it's there. You know, the vision's there. Wish has hit level 4. Not able just yet to get in on top of Sumail. 17 one charges. Always a fear that you're going to have that turnaround from the DP. Wait for that 4-minute rune to come up and then maybe think about going for a bit of a dive. Could also see Desire's Tiny rotate. But currently very focused on keeping this Viper farming. And Dragon Wave's back away from Miracle.
For Doom, we see a distinct difference here where we've seen these lane presence Dooms that max or put 3 points in Scorched Earth, and they just try to be there and pressure the carry and not give them everything for free. But Mind Control understands that this is not a game for that. It is so hard to lane into Undying and the Burning Spears, so he's going for that Devour. He's playing just for catch up, and it gives GH space too. Right? Like, think about how easy it would be if the lane equilibrium is close to Jug's tower bot, you could just TP with GH Earth Spirit and get a kill there for free. Like, a spin onto Viper should be pretty easy kill.
Yeah, even in the mid lane, you know, if that dive does come from the bat, which is maybe why Wish is being so tentative about his aggression. And GH rotations definitely scary as they just go straight onto the Clinks. Tombstone's dropped, his lightning creep, the mind control's picked up, has not only secured him range creeps, but almost a kill on the Clinks. Places the branch, gets the salve off, and mind control dying to zombies. Spartan's got an army of his own, now chasing GH out of lane.
That was such a good branch. What a cool... Oh, 1 health, 1 hit from death, man. What a player. What a great branch play.
Sick little moves from Nande.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good for the Doom. Yeah, that lightning creep. Doing a lot of magic damage, 140 burst. And a good roll in from GH. I mean, maybe now thinking about going on Spartan. Infernal Blade there from the Doom. And a roll back. They want the Clinks. Sentry drop to kick through. Nande, again, so close to death, but they don't have quite enough damage to finish them off. But they're completely out of regen now, though. Okay, they've got a soul rep from Spartan. He'll walk back to base.
Maybe he can die to the tower or something. I don't know. You don't want to give XP away, but you kind of need to reset your resources. Oh, he brought mana on the courier. That's fine. And GH is just going to swing round for the 6-minute rune. I think Tiny should do the same. He's going to stack the Ancients instead.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, something that, like you said, Clink's very adept at taking. Batrider goes for the bot rune. RNG not his friend. Illusion spawns top. Sumail doesn't even have a bottle here, going for that Falcon Blade wand build.
Again, yeah. Falcon Blade build seems really nice. He's gonna rotate under a ward though. So they'll know he's coming. If Nande dies here, that would be really bad, considering they know what's happening.
Yeah, they see it all coming. Spartan was even getting a little pull off there. They'll go for the Undying instead, a little freebie. TP rotations coming in as Sumail does use Exo. Tiny cancels. Pressure very quickly again, similar to game 1. Straight onto tier 1s with this Exorcism. And while the Tiny's been rotating, he went back to stack, he went to look for runes. That's completely left Kuro and Miracle to reclaim control of that bottom lane. Viper on his own, not able to really do the job they desire.
I think Wish went like some full farming build. He didn't go point and flame break. He didn't really want to try and apply kill threat to a DP.
Yeah, trying to stack jungle for him so he can fall back on that as he gets the bottle refill from Spartan.
Yeah, I mean they might also just give it to the Clinks, depending. I guess the first condition that they need to do a lot is get Wish his travels, and then after that it's just farm up Clinks.
They've gone all the way around through triangle. I see Sumail, Tombstone's out. Wish with the lasso will catch the DP, drag her into the Ancients. Not much mind control can do here, but watch Sumail attempt to TP home, and the Spirit of Siphons keep him topped up long enough. While MC does bring down Spartan and down in bottom lane. They've got in on top of 11, but no further stuns. Means a TP back to Fountain will give him the safety he needed.
I guess that is one thing. No stuns. They even brought GH bot. So I guess at this point you should just commit to trying to take this tower here. And GH currently without TP, which is a little spooky, but I don't think they're gonna go for anything on Brame right now. Just there's no lasso. You know, Clinks isn't gonna be killing anyone really. They are holding that rune bot, but it's not an action rune. This is a illusion rune into a regen rune. No action rune for either mid player. I mean, obviously Samel making do without and still going top and making that nice play, getting that tower to half health. Anything helps.
Just unsettling the rhythm of Brame. So far, their laning stages look superb in game 1 and game 2. You know, coming out on top on all 3 of their cores.
This is super even.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And Clinks is getting his Maelstrom delivered. So it is that very similar build we saw, I don't know, like a year ago or something, when Arteezy and Sumail were playing it. There's the Maelstrom rush, farm stacks of Ancients, accelerate yourself incredibly quickly and become a force on the map.
I'd like to see Brame stack the Ancients a little bit more. They only did it once so far, but just it's kind of like an ALK. You're just investing really hard into your Clinks. Yeah, and they're just gonna take the current stacks in the jungle on Wish as Bat Rider and get him closer to those boosted travel. Sumel's actually coming in with a ward as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
snipes out. Couple of large creeps for him, very nicely done. And a little bit of high ground vision. Well, 11 on top of Miracle and finds the kill on him. Thanks to Desire's tiny rotation, they kill off the Jug. And he had 2 heroes behind him as well. Miracle dying there, a bit of a surprise.
I didn't see how it went down. I just saw that his spin's on cooldown, and I'm assuming they just like Viper striked through it and got that kill.
Yeah, they managed to catch him unaware. It looks like Desire will be stacking up the Ancients a little more as well. So Clinks can start to make that migration from top lane through his top jungle down towards bot.
Yeah, nice. They're bringing EXO to take top, so Fernande, he's got his Maelstrom, he's feeling good. He should just... Oh, it looks like he's waiting for that rotate, that creep respawn. He can super elevate his farming now with this Maelstrom. He can just like run it through the jungle, head to the triangle, take that, swing to bot, help take that tower if he wants. They're
smoking up top to connect with him though.
Okay.
So they know Sumail's here pushing away with EXO. And they want to try and fight into it. And this is still a position in the game where Enigma are waiting for key items. Midas Jug, Midas Doom still a little away from them. But good realization from Enigma that danger was coming. Tombstone from Spartan, Sumail with the 3-man silence, gonna create a bit of a gap between him and the rest of Brame, so a wasted rotation. And now Enigma, they're the ones smoking and wrapping around in behind them. Thinking about the go once the Tombstone's down. I mean, it's 1 hit away from death, 10 seconds to expire, healed up by the Soul Rip for now. And in comes Desire. Avalanche toss back Sumail, but Miracle and GH with a long roll forward, whipping on the initiation. I'll try and aim for the Tiny. He's the straggler. Kick the rock at him. Spin him down.
It's not bad for Brame. I would say I really like their move, because even though it doesn't result in anything, you're wasting the exorcism. I think that's still going to get the result of what they wanted from their fight.
Yeah,
still.
GH just keeps going in deeper and deeper. He got the dust off on the Clinks, kicks some rocks at him with a Magnetize on him, but he's got himself that Death Pack, tanks back up and looks for a next round of brawling. Viper now deciding to join in, but doomed up and clipped by another Magnetized Pebble. Mind Control being burst down almost immediately by the Burning Barrage, and Sumail lassoed up. Wish finding the catch and the kill on GH here as the Viper is still alive somehow. He's on 10 HP. Survives through the Doom. Miracle chasing in towards Spartan with a spin on the Undying. Throws the Tombstone down and Miracle decides he has to TP home.
Structures are fortified.
Brame, what a great punch back there. Yeah, they lose the Clinks, but taking 3 with him.
And Kuroki hit level 6 just now. Literally just now. Imagine if that had been able to change. He was sitting bot the entire fight. He never came top. He was desperate for that level 6.
That would have been a game changer.
But yeah, God, like nice re-initiation from Brame, like turning even low health on Clinks. He's like, I can get these kills if I just turn, maybe give my life, get this barrage off. I think Enigma, big mistake there to keep going without your exorcism. They lost a lot of damage, and it did give Brame that space to get those kills. And, like you give Bat 2 kills, I think, off like just by running in there. He's now gunning for a blink dagger. He's got his travels. Like I think this is kind of a mistake we've seen a couple times. These Bat Riders, they get fed a couple kills and just have an amazing game off the back of it after a rougher start.
Just seeing that damage from the Clinks on the Doom is pretty insane, though. Like from 100 to 0 in one barrage.
Didn't he get like Undying Soul Rip too? Actually, it's only level 1. Yeah, it was definitely mostly the Clinks.
That's pretty huge damage. And Nande clearing through these Ancients. Looks like they're going to give a bit of control in that mid lane. Tier 1 being chipped away at by this next Exo from Sumail. But again, it is patience from Nigma. That's the name of the game for them. They need these Hands of Midases to kick in. Hands of Midases.
Hanses and Midases.
That's the one. And they're TPing in to defend now. Tombstone's there. Avalanche catch on Takuro. Chen just too far forward. Couldn't get his mech or his Hand of God off.
Good defense there. I thought they might just give it, but the ability to just throw down Tombstone, I mean, there's a reason Undying is so popular right now. You can just throw this down and then get complete area control. And they're just going to play now towards a high ground cliff ward. Look for another kill. Lasso's back up. It forces Miracle out of his farming space. He'll have to go top, but Mind Control's up there. He's farming. Yeah, the map becomes a little smaller when they play like this. So hopefully they can just keep this ward up for themselves. They're losing the one on the cliff in their own jungle, so they won't be able to see Nigma going in there. It even looks like they might want to fight.
Yeah, I mean, GH, he's actually got the catch on Clinks. Trying to solo kill him. Maybe turn onto the Viper now, but quickly realizing that's not where he wants to be. Lasso will be there to catch out MC's Doom, baited in by the Earth Spirit roll. But Nigma, yet again, paying dearly for these aggressive moves into that top jungle.
A quick move from Nigma to just go de-ward that cliff ward as soon as they see Brain moving back top, but it's still map pressure. You're feeling afraid on Nigma no matter where you go. Like, your wards are all up here on Nigma, and yet you're still dying as your offlaner. Brain was showing that they'll just go from one side of the map to another and hunt and hunt and hunt and look for these fights, because the nice thing about their draft is that they're not super cooldown dependent. Whilst Nigma are waiting for the exorcism and then grouping up and doing stuff together. Meanwhile, you have Brame who are like, okay, we have a Viper, let's just go spit on them. We can combo them with Tiny. We can just go throw down a Tombstone, which is, it's still quite a long cooldown, but...
Oh, let's keep
Clinks
on
can
brawling.
just keep fighting. Yeah.
I wish. He doesn't have Lasso. Miracle trying to spin away, but look at who's coming for him. Nande and Desire with a Tumbler's Toy. Avalanche Barrage, kill off the Jug. Transfer this into a potential tier 1 push, but they also want to consider this mid tower. Thinking about traversing across this bottom jungle, even smoking up under a Radiant ward, though. So GH is going to pop the smoke on some of them.
It's just the pressure. They have to sit there to try and take the tower, but they're TPing in. They're going for the kill.
Tower falls. Mind Control getting run at, though. Good silence from the DP to stop any more poison coming, but 11 is going to break past it, keep the hunt on, and MC denied to Roche, but not coming. Wish there with a final touch of damage. While Desire has got the Avalanche toss on Sumail. Back into Spartan, Flesh Golem, Tombstone again. Oh, the stuns, they're all on cooldown.
Nice TP for him.
And bottom tower falls to the creeps. Swing bot, swing mid. Clinks, though, caught down in that bottom lane, found by GH and Sumail. Everyone's moving so quickly across this map. Wish and Desire, they're back down here as well, with Spartan getting in front of GH will stop the roll, and a Lasso finding Sumail. They've got the Hand of God to heal him up. Sumail with the Spirit Siphons, surrounded by these Brame heroes, though, as Spartan still trying to focus GH, but they're back on the DP. 11 finds Kuroki, a little deeper in the jungle, and Desire's there with a great Avalanche. Find them the kill on the Death Prophet.
Sorry,
GH with a roll back in. He's going to get killed as well. Kicks Desire onto tower, but he's done for. A double for 11.
I was so confused. I saw zombies. I was like, wait, didn't the Tombstone happen in the river? I think they just followed DP all the way across the map. Just never got killed. Anyway, it wasn't that impactful, but it was just something funny. And are you just seeing how Brame is playing this game? They are everywhere. They take bot, they put a ward on the cliff, and they run back into their jungle, get a kill there, then they run back to bot, get a kill on Miracle, then they smoke back to mid, take a fight there, then go back to bot again. They are just not giving up anything. They are not letting up. They are just trying to cover as much of this map as possible their movements are super erratic. The only thing it's not giving them is like solid warding control.
Yeah.
Like this is the obviously the bad point is that you go somewhere, you put a ward down, you leave it, the enemy just come and deward it. But that's the only downside. Otherwise, they are kind of running them, and
But they're
not
losing
like the
towers
network is,
though.
They are a little bit.
It feels like until the Clinks is like fully online, they're not able to bring down objectives themselves.
Yeah. Usually I just feel bad when this kind of movement is happening because one core on the enemy side is like hardcore farming, but it doesn't even really feel like that. You look at the net worth and everyone on Brame is keeping up. Just by running into these areas, it's forcing Nigma to leave their farming patterns, and that seems to be why it's quite equal. I mean, they're not gaining a massive lead from it, but they are buying time for Clinks to just get super online. He's got that Gleipnir now.
Yeah, Sumail having a much more challenging game this time around. Previously, what, he was like 13-0. Now he's 3-2-2. Not as easy as it was previously, but we're still looking for these timings for Nigma. The BKB on the Death Prophet, Maelstrom on the Juggernaut, and Doom with his own BKB. So in the next 3-4 minutes or so, we will have everything click into place for Nigma in terms of items. But of course, that's 3 or 4 minutes here where Brame, they can really rack up a serious amount of net worth on this Clinks, who already has Gleipnir working on his Daedalus now. And the Bat Rider going for this Blink Force Staff. So opting not to go for the BKB, going for full maneuverability to drag people around and displace them. Spartan just going to take a step too far forward, gets his mech off, buys a bit of time for his team to arrive, and there's the Clinks with the Gleipnir on the damage. GH being burst down along with Kuroki. Spartan making sure that the tombstone's dropped and a lasso dragged back Miracle. His spin's about to end, and that means the magic damage going to pummel him down into the ground. Hits the floor with a thud. Tier 1's unlocked for them, and Brame just rampaging over this middle lane.
Oh yeah, that's really nice. The heal with the mech plus the soul rib just makes it hard for Nigma to burst. They don't have that burst. They are quite sustained damage all at once, and it's just getting that tombstone down afterwards just makes it really hard to fight into. I'm just looking at the differences in. I mean, they're still going for more. I mean, this is Brame at their max confidence going in.
Go on, Mind Control. You just bought that BKB. Yeah, do you want to use it? The rest of Nigma are trying to come here, and he's actually battled back enough to force the Tiny away. But look at the Clinks! Destroys Kuroki. Sumail has to Exo now to chase down this Viper. Spartan lurking in the shadows. Mind Control back in, and a roll with a Doom on top of 11. Should be able to finally find this kill. Brame were considering going back in, but they've run out of mana and cooldowns. And this will allow GH to chase in for more. Spartan, he's got his eyes set on the prize there. Desire being hunted, but the Clinks with the damage. The Gleipnir keeps Sumail locked in place for that barrage to burst him down.
They have a
And now
tombstone.
the
They keep
opening.
fighting.
Yeah, they move back in by Wish. Omni Slash does jump onto the Undying, bounces back off the Tiny, but Miracle now has to spin to survive any further aggression from Brame, because it just keeps on coming. Desire forced out forward, drifts into them with a Gleipnir, catching the kill off GH. The Nande Clinks shredding through these Nigma heroes. Mech from Kuro buys a bit of time for him, but he will not survive.
Tower is under attack.
All out aggression.
It just keeps coming. The net worth lead is still not massively growing, but it feels so bad for Nigma. Losing these fights, they don't ever seem to have any sort of handle or position of power. Like the kill lead is growing, and it just keeps trending this way. Then eventually Brame will take these fights where they actually have like a solid purpose. Like, okay, we're gonna go kill them now, and we're gonna get a Roche off the back of it. Because right now it's just like trying to keep Nigma away from farming. They're trying to stop them from hitting creeps, stop them from getting their item timings. Just keep snowballing. I mean, Clinks is getting super involved, so his levels are just going up. He's getting all that XP from being involved. He's getting his items. They're just, I mean, they're scaling to a good place. And you just see, like, I was going to say earlier, you see a difference in how the carries are itemizing. So Miracle's gone for his Midas Maelstrom. He really wants to farm. Maelstrom helps with that damage on the spin, especially with the shard damage as well. And then he's going for a Lincoln Sphere. He is playing to be a little bit afraid. Whereas you look at Nande on his Clinks, he does...
Nope.
Gleipnir into Daedalus. He wants to output the most damage possible, and he trusts his team to keep fighting and doing well.
And they're getting a catch again. High ground vision gives them the jump on Kuro. Roshan available to them now, and Kuro might have to buy back to defend this. Oh, I just don't know about that. And yeah, I mean, Clinks is probably thinking, hey, if Doom's going to buy an Aghanim Scepter at some point, why should I buy a Lincoln's? I think it's a thought process going through a lot of cores' heads nowadays with that AoE Doom available. And here we go with Nigma smoking. They're going to the pit, but Aegis is already grabbed by the Clinks. They are standing their ground, thinking about making a jump in this mid lane, though. Roll towards Spartan. We'll find the Undying with a Magnetize, and a good kick. Going to clip the bat as well. That's a tanky boy. Flesh Golem's out.
Pop mech.
Still has his mech. Another huge avalanche. Desire will toss the DP back in. Your Scepter catches the Viper. Mind Control going to get the War Stomp and the Doom onto him. Focusing 11 and killing off the Tombstone. Miracle slices, dices into the Viper's back. And now the move in towards the Undying will find the kill at long last. Burning Barrage, though, takes Miracle to half. Doesn't finish off the job on any heroes, though. And GA just keeps rolling onto the Dusted Clinks. This is where Enigma, though, got to be wary. Reset. They've spent cooldowns. They're low HP. They need the Yules on the DP. The roll going to be cancelled. And Desire with a double kill. Find another. Sumail's gone. Brame hold on to Aegis. Get some huge kills. And they're forcing Nigma back again.
Looked good for a hot moment for Nigma.
Kuro, the final casualty of war. Oh, I say that. I say
They're
that.
running him down.
Mind Control. Oh, that's us forward. He does get the preemptive War Stomp down, but Desire has another avalanche. Get into their base. They're just diving tier 3s to team wipe Nigma.
Wish is out of control. 0 deaths. He's speedrunning this best of 3.
7-0-12, yeah. Huge performance out of this Batrider. And a 6k lead now manifesting for Brame.
I'm very impressed just by how they're taking these fights. Even when Nigma get sort of like a little hold back into the game, like getting that roll in, it's just like they're holding their turns for the last second. If you watched like Undying, for example, you know, they go on him. He doesn't pop his mech instinctively. He's trying to kind of bait as many heroes in as he can before he gets that heal off, gets the soul rep. It's nice kind of trying to bait them in, and then you see as soon as they overstep, as soon as they go too far, suddenly Brame turn. They look back around, and then they kill you. They wait for this Gleipnir cooldown. They catch so many heroes all clumped together as they chase, and do so much damage. This Clinks is outputting... I mean, it's just undealable for Nigma, it feels like.
He's doing like 6k damage a team fight. That's pretty ridiculous numbers. I mean, that was Sumail with no BKB on that fight, right? So now he has it. Maybe a bit of a change for Nigma here. But I am starting to wonder, you know, game one, they had the patience. They knew that their team fight was overwhelming. They had Chrono, Echo Slam, Exo. This time around, they're much more reliant on this Doom to blink War Stomp. And I think more importantly, GH, every initiation he makes, every catch that he finds, it has to pay off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
One thing that makes it really hard for Mind Control, and I do not envy this, is playing into a Tombstone is so hard. Because your blink can get cancelled just... you know, off the cuff, and it can ruin the entire team fight. They need to be able to start the fight on their own terms on Nigma. Either Brame needs to like step out of position and they punish it, or they play around some super good ward, get like the Doom off to start the fight. What do they want?
They're going high ground. They're going up here with the Clinks. Doom's in, Lasso's there, gets stunned up so he can't drag her back. The DP gets the BKB off. Chen nearly dead but has the mech in the hand of God as Doom focuses into Nande. Trying to catch him here with a Magnetize on him. Yules into the air. They need the reveal. He's still dusted, in fact, so they see the Clinks on his run back. First life gone. What can Brame do to return into the fight? Omni slash ready. Here comes Miracle. Slices into them. The Creep's going to tank a little bit, but it jumps on the Nande again. Down they go with the Clinks. Nothing the back can really do to combat this. They'll TP away. Try and escape.
Got that little throw on the high ground again.
Desire. Oh, Desire blows him up. GH trying to catch him. Demolished by the Tiny. But yeah, the little poke up to high ground there. Nigma really showing that they can't be pushed over quite that easily.
That was a very key problem for why that failed so badly, and it was just Spartan overstepping. Like, he should never be pushing a tower. Like, he literally walked up on the... You see it now. He walked up onto the high ground to click the tower. Why are you clicking the tower, sir? He needs to be standing back. He's the one with the mech. He's the one with the soul rip. Like, whoever gets gone on in front of you, you're meant to be the one saving them and putting down that tombstone to keep area denial. But when you step up like that, I mean, really, really snap decision-making from Nigma to just punish it and kill him. and give them that good fight. Because yeah, that's pretty much key for them. If they can kill Undying, their fights are so easy, or so much easier, I should say.
Oh, GH just found him. The roll missing that time. Wish very speedy with his windlace, boots of travel. Four staff helping out. Spartan just going to chuck the tombstone down. Chase into Miracle and actually find the lasso thanks to the Ether Lens extended range, and in comes Desire. Avalanche toss, Miracle destroyed by Braim's counter initiation back in, and look at this Clinks go. Just a glide near into a barrage, nearly breaks Kuroki. Wish, that's aggressive. Does find the pickoff in the end. Well, there's just 3 heroes are diving tier 2 while the other 2 are killing off the tower.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oh, they're playing brave, and they have itemized really well to do these dives as well. If you look at their items, 11 has a Hurricane Pike. The Tiny also has a 4-staff as well. Like on the bot, even though they lost that fight when their Clinks got gone on and Omni Slash, they had 2 4-staffs to kind of keep pushing him back and try and disengage. So in maybe a more controlled fight where they aren't dying on their Undying and the heroes are in a good spot, like initiations from Nigma do become a little bit harder into stuff like that. You look on the other side, and Earth Spirit's going for a BKB. He wants to just be able to go in and use his spells without dying. This Gleipnir is disrupting their team fights so much by making, halting their mobility. You're taking all this damage from the barrage every time you get Gleipnir. So GH wants to just get in there, not have to care about all this magic damage, use his spells and enable his team, get the kick, like whoever needs to be kicked out of position, get it off. And Kuroki just itemizing for a little bit more save, going for a Gleipnir. They don't have 4-staffs of their own, but they are all starting to get towards that magic community, like you pointed out, Sumail having his BKB, Jug as well having that spin. Just BKBs and Glimmer Caves. Maybe they can get a 4-staff on Kuroki as well later. I would like to see that. Just ways to kind of get people to safety so they can re-engage and get, reset the fight. They need to be able to reset the fight.
Yeah, or if they're getting jumped, or if they're the ones jumping, make sure they can actually finish people off before the Clinks turns on them. 11 on this Viper, also scaling incredibly well. Manta on top of Hurricane Pike. Skadi is coming. Now we start to get 30 minutes in, thinking about the next Roshan. How do we Viper control around the pit as the smoke is broken, the illusions baiting and tanking. The initiation from Nigma there as Clinks just waltzed in invis, spotted them coming. And look at Spartan, he's going enemy high ground. Miracle, gonna give him the Omni Slash, 4-staff across, Spartan's still alive, the toss there, gonna kill off Spartan and his Desire. Does destroy his own teammates' chances, but they got the kill on Miracle. Nande was able to stand his ground. The wall stop now, finding the Viper. He's caught out of position, but the double 4-staff up to the high ground, not going to allow him to escape though. GH lands his roll, and now they move towards the Bat Rider here. Wish trying to get away. GH, if he spots them, he's rolling on them. Desire's low. Clinks could still turn around and play with this, though. With an Avalanche and a Gleipnir, they'll burst through GH. Find the kill on the Earth Spirit, but now the Clinks is doomed. What can Sumail and Kuro do? Penitent's in on to Nande, and they've got the damage. The Acorn shots in this Ancient Granite Golem pummel him.
Great fight for them. Honestly, I was a little bit scared when they decided to fight into the Exorcism, and yeah, it did not pay off.
Wait, is Desire doing it? Oh, they're blinking to blink.
Oh.
Oh no.
He went for it.
And Penitent's doing 250 damage off that talent. Actually gets them the kill there. Helps them out. Kill off the Tiny.
Right.
Fine, this is a fight where Miracle got blown up initially and Nigma fought 4v5, right?
Yeah.
I guess Undying died, but...
That, yeah. It's just usually when you're able to get someone to waste Exorcism like that with Death Prophet like he went in, the smoke got popped, they had to back off.
And now Spartan out of position. Yeah. He got his ward down, but Nigma all in position. Wish gonna drag the Doom up towards the high ground spot. Unload a bit of magic damage from the Viper, but Mind Control has a BKB and dewards the Obs. Tombstone dealt with. And Braim now, 3 heroes down. Roshan's available. Yeah, I was going to say Spartan just going to buy back for this. Make sure that they can continue to contest the pit.
Don't have Tombstone though, and Nigma are very aware of this. They don't have Oh, they do have Omni Slash, sorry. And they have Exorcism coming up. This would be a really good time to smoke if they want to make that fight for the Roche. They don't have Doom for 40 seconds, so if they want to be super safe, they can wait.
Got to deal with these waves as well first. You know, MC going to show on the mid.
It's
Clear
good to
it
get
out.
your mid pushed in when you're trying to contest Roche, because it gives so much information and vision. Like, no one can stand on that mid lane without being seen by creeps.
Enigma all grouping up again. Roshan has been begun. 11 inside the pit. Tombstone dropped. And Spartan with a damage amp out of this Flash Golem. As they make a jump on an illusion, Wish baiting mind control in to make that initiation. And Roche down to 2,000 health, dropping quickly to the Burning Barrage, picked up. Aegis claimed by the Clink, says Nigma. They strike, trying to fight inside the pit, but the Tombstone stacking up zombies. GH aiming for Spartan, trying to get in on top of this Undying, but he's got mech, he's got heals for days. And kill the Tombstone off, yes, but Brame got the Aegis, they got the Roshan, and didn't lose a single soul.
It's like every time I look at 11's build, I'm just like, he doesn't have a BKB. This is so illegal. But he's just in the pit, gets gone on, 4 staffs away. Undying, gets gone on, 4 staffs away. They have how many now?
3?
Like, 1 on Bat, 1 on Tiny.
And Viper has the Pike.
Yeah, 1 on... Yeah. It's just funny that they're being allowed to do this. And 11 as well, he's going for a Skadi. He just wants to play as this third big core. It kind of makes a problem for Nigma, right, where they want to Doom Clinks and that's it, you know, problem gone. But if you have a Viper who's also 5-slotted with like damage items as well, it's hard to play with or against. Sorry.
How do you feel about double Skadi? Because it looks like Clinks is buying one as well.
Well, then they can hit 2 different people. So
okay.
effective.
Fair enough. One hits Chen, one hits DP.
It's a really good stats item, and it.
Oh. Sheepo, there's a Clinks with the DD rune.
I'm scared.
Oh, Nande. I mean, how much damage? He's going to be doing like 600, 700 a click. Avalanche toss. That was miracle. That was your position 1 carry. Yeah. Yeah, he's dead for a minute.
Yep. Look at the control. Didn't even DD. He still has it, and they can use this for what, high ground push. You have your Aegis. Just please, Brame. I beg of you, just consider how to take the high ground slowly. Just think about the conditions with which you need to take it, and do not walk up with your Undying.
It looks like Nigma are going to find the Tiny though. He swung pretty hard off to that right-hand side of the map. He's got Yule's Blink, but cancelled out by GH's roll. The rest of the Brame are swarming. They're coming in with the lasso, finding the Earth Spirit. Focus him down. The damage is ridiculous. Mind control now going to get burst down as well. The DD on Clinks, 1,300 crits apiece. And now you've got a minute with no Earth Spirit, no Doom. Double catapult wave coming in mid. And a DD rune still on the Clinks for a good 10, 15 seconds.
Well, that is no longer a nice pick off. That is rough. Losing your Doom like that, especially like you saw the last time they went high ground, the Doom was very crucial to how they took this high ground. The Viper doesn't have a shard, so that will make the push slightly slower, but overall, yeah, they've got this deep Tombstone up, and they can just stand here.
Oh, and Miracle has to spin to get away from Gleipnir.
Yeah.
Tier 3 dropping quickly.
Right. To defend, how can they do it? How can they do it?
I mean, Shen's cut waves in behind them, but that's not stopping this push coming in.
They're fine to let 1 Rex go, especially mid. It's not the worst Rex, just because you are able to kind of get to mid so easily from either side lane, right? So, you know, no matter what side of the map you're holding, you can always cut the mid lane. So Megas in mid is not a big issue for them. It's more the side. And now Doom's alive, they have a chance, a way to come back, a way to take a fight. I think what they did earlier, I mean, even though it didn't go well for them, putting the ward on that high ground cliff and trying to get that pick off on Tiny when Brame started to split up, it was a good idea. It's just, it feels like they're struggling just because they don't have the damage to burst someone really quickly and then get out. Like I talked about the supports not having repositioning tools like 4 staffs. It makes it hard to just 4 staff your Doom out, for example, and you know, do the deed, get the kill, get out. Which Brame have just been doing pretty much non-stop for 36 minutes.
Yeah, because once Nigma are in a fight there, they are hard committed. You use Exo, you're committed. Use Doom, you're committed. If mind control jumping in, you need that target to die. But yeah, you're right. It's like Magnetized, Doom, Exo, all extended periods of damage. Not that burst that they kind of need.
It honestly might even be ideal for Nigma to try and win a fight outside of the base. Just they have only one buyback, so it's very scary.
Nicely done there by Nigma, though, getting a bunch of neutral items with these Hands of Midas. Making sure they get that guaranteed neutral drop as they all come up. Havoc Hammer, Spell Prism, Flicker. Our Flicker's going to be a big one this game as well. Against Viper back. Undying.
Very nice, yeah. Who's going to take it? DP? No, she went Prism.
Doom? GH has got it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Doom holding the Havoc Hammer.
Yeah.
What about the Dire team? What they got? Telescope, a hammer for themselves. And Telescope here, what, for the bat or so? He's got Quickening Charm right now, though.
Spawn has the most important neutral item. He is by far the strongest person on this map right now with that neutral item.
Verdurous Gale. Dale.
It's not even that good of an item. The heal is negligible. But the 100 health, baby!
Oh, hell yeah. Well, they've caught him now, though. Is that 100 HP gonna allow him to survive? They drop a sentry for vision, but the 4 staffs get him back down to low ground. GH not landing that roll. And Spartan, that tombstone is in a prime position. He's going to get spun down by Miracle. GH rolling into the back. He's aiming for the Clinks. They'll take down the Undying now as the Gleipnir turn around, blowing up the Earth Spirit, but the Clinks is doomed up. MC focusing straight in with the help of Sumail to try and catch Nande, but he's on the run. Little Skelly bro, where are you heading? Off to the left-hand side while the Viper turns the fight. Omni Slash bouncing into illusions and creeps, but they get the MC kill. Brame turning on Miracle now. 11 not able to stun him or catch him as they'll use up the Golem. A spin allowing Miracle to TP away.
Yeah, this is the beauty of your Viper, going these items. They doomed the Clinks. He ran for his life and died, but you still have other people able to do damage and threaten you.
And Kuro Chen just going to drop quickly in his own jungle. Clear up his army of ancients. Dragon and Golem. Both being picked off by the Viper.
Miracle having this Linkens was nice, though. This might be the first fight where he hasn't just got blown up and died, and it's definitely harder now, for Batriders to just simply start and get him, because while they have ways to pop the Linkens, it makes the kind of initiation just a little less clean. Are they up to 4? They're up to 4 staffs now. As well.
Yeah, I'm just watching this Undying back. He goes up high ground, gets forced to low ground, he dies. But then Nigma in such an awkward position where they're trying to go up into the triangle. They're stuck on low ground in the river. MC and Sumail do the best they can. They kill off the Clinks in the end. But then you just left your Miracle Juggernaut here to his own devices to try and Omni Slash save himself and spin TP home. And these fights are getting real scrappy and awkward.
It does feel like whenever Nigma take a long fight, they just sort of lose it. But it also feels like they're not good at bursting heroes, so it's really weird. I think they maybe need to get to this position where Mind Control has his refresher, because dooming Clinks, yeah, nice. If they can doom Clinks and Viper, or Clinks and Batrider, any combination really, that would make their fights just beautiful. And then it becomes a game of okay, we have to hold our buybacks on Brame, and maybe we win a fight by fighting near a tower or an objective like an outpost, and we can just buy back and keep fighting, and then they don't have double refresher doom, and we can win the fight, and we can keep hunting them down and pressure to end the game. Or we need to play really hard around this Roshan so we have the Aegis and the second life, and then the refresher doom doesn't mean anything. Kind of goes both ways that they have to play around it, but this refresher would definitely go a long way to help Nigma and their team fighting.
Where's Nande going? He's death backed it up. What is he doing? 500 a click? Not bad. Rapier's queued up. And bottom lane getting chipped away at, so Nigma the ones, again, that have to react. Come back bottom.
It's so risky. When you're playing into a Doom, which is nearly certain death, that's honestly quite scary. I mean,
it absolutely is.
It would feel better if they had... Oh, he has a Linkens now. I was going to say, it would be nice if someone else also had a Linkens and they could put it on him. And then that way he's kind of safe, right? Even if they break the Linkens, he has his own Linkens, so it's kind of double Linkens. And then you can just siege with him.
GH up to high ground, gets the ward down. They've got perfect vision now as he rolls back towards the pit. The avalanche toss trying to catch in onto Enigma's backlines. Spartan being spun down, but 11's already picked up the Earth Spirit, forcing him to buy back. And 11, the Omnis Slash is directly onto him, but Spartan actually drags it away and tanks it for him, so 11 can turn and fight. Mind control, being chased around by zombies, as is Kuro. 3 hits, though. That's all it takes for the Clinks to bring him down. They'll turn onto Nande, force stab him away. Lotus Orb up on the Clinks now as well, but Doom slow to a crawl inside the Nether Toxin as Nande grabs a double. Nigma losing heroes left and right. DP stuck up on the high ground. Wish will burn down Sumail. And a huge team fight for Brame opens up Roshan for them.
I was watching 11 that entire fight. Man is on the edge. Dude, he is not dying. He is not giving anything. But how did DP get lassoed onto the cliff?
I don't know.
Right, I want my replay. Help me, Observer.
Like
I need your assistance.
4 different fights at the same time. Like GH
know,
roll in
right?
the back. There's Viper fighting with the Jug.
Right.
Look.
I want the replay.
If he gets full staff up to high ground, or does he get tossed?
Toss.
Tossed to what?
Does he have the
talent?
Yeah, he
He has the talent.
Damn, what a winning fight. Does it get cancelled as well? I see him TPing in the corner of the screen. Nice avalanche.
It's there. I mean, MC comes in. I'll just watch this Viper. Full staff across, saved, Manta's out, gets another Toxin down, and then Miracle just no options whatsoever. So we're going to lose every barracks in this Nigma base, and we're going to lose Kuroki as well. Wish just straight up refreshes, so he's got a lasso ready to go. Round 2.
What an abuse of the lack of tools on Nigma. Like, we talk about how these 4-stars have been so impactful all game.
And they've caught out Doom now. And they'll lose Spartan, but Mind Control dragged inside the Nether Toxin. Destroyed by Nande. And Miracle dipping back into Fountain. And Tier 4s, they need to be defended as Viper and Clinks opening up on them quickly. And Desire. That's an aggressive move. Does get out his Ghost Scepter, and he's got 4 staffs all the way home pretty much, just drifting away as GH, no buyback for him. All Mind Control means we're in a 4 or 5 versus 3. Clinks, don't forget, does still have the Aegis. Multiple life for him and Desire. Tossing Sumail around. Miracle will try and spin into the Tiny. Yes, he gets a consolation prize. Maybe a little bit more here. Sumail, BKB TP. The Omni Slash coming into play. Bouncing across illusions, but the Ghost Scepter from Wish keeps him safe and sound. And Miracle. He's got buyback available, but it feels like they're down and out now here in game 2. Brame are going to throw everything they've got at them. They'd lose the Viper, but buybacks out of the Tiny, and maybe 11 here will shut out this game as the Aegis, it will be claimed, but Nande already on an ultra kill. And Desire looking for another round. Avalanche toss. Where's the Jug gone? He's gone northwards. Nande's hunting for him. They could go for throne, but they want to go for kills. Come on, let me kill off Miracle one more time. No mana for lasso here from Wish, but they'll have the Avalanche toss combo, and down you go. Earth Spirit, the only man standing between. Yeah, well, it's just called GG. Straight out from Kuro. They know it's done. And we're heading to game 3.
What a series this is turning out to be, Gary. I love this game. Just seeing how Brame completely transformed and took just the map by storm. They left no area free for Nigma to ever just relax in. They understand, okay, if Jug, DP, Doom, all these heroes are just allowed to farm with their Midas. They went 2 Midases. If you just let them farm up, they're gonna win the game. Like, their lineup just kind of scales better to that point. But Brame, by taking that super aggressive approach, they delayed every timing. They secured their Roches. I think Nande getting involved in everything was absolutely fantastic play. Obviously, Wish on his Batrider without deaths all the way to the end. These 4 staffs on everyone, allowing them to just like Nigma go in. They 4 staff out. They 4 staff out. They 4 staff out. They drag Nigma further and further and further out of position, and then turn around and punish them. And I love that. Nigma, on the other hand, they didn't have these types of items and tools. We saw Sumail get cliff there. That sucks for him. You have no 4 staffs on your team. The only thing that can even help you is like GH rolling on you and then kicking you down, but that's so hard.
Yeah, I mean, 2 rapiers there at the end as well. Batrider holding one, Clinks had one. That's doing tremendous amounts of damage. In the end, that clinks 55,000 damage. And compare that to Miracle's 36. There's a pretty big gap there. But you're absolutely right. It's a suffocating performance from Brave, just completely closing in on Nigma there in game 2, showing what they're made of, tying things up and making sure. And it's no easy route for Nigma here. And dropping down from the lower bracket here, facing up against some severely challenging opponents in Brave, showing that it's the outskilling, the outplaying, the kind of outdrafting as well. That Clink's last pick was a bit of genius. Beautiful stuff from Nande. But we'll have a quick break and return with game 3 to see what actually is in store for us. So we'll see you then.
Esports is what we live and breathe. For us, it's more than a game. It's a reality where a group of letters can mean everything. Where runes are collected and Aegis can only be won in battle. Where centaurs can give you a ride. Where the true heroes are those in front of the screen. GG Bet. This is real.
Welcome back, welcome back. Here we are as Nigma Galaxy take on Brame in Game 3. Brame able to tally things up with that Game 2 victory. Stellar performances all around. And a little bit of a surprise twist at the end of their draft with the Klinks pick. And Cheapo, as we see, tournaments, drafts, series develop, we usually have small refinements, little things being tuned here and there. But some big switch-ups happening. Bans completely changing on Nigma's side.
Feels like they change between every game, and there's just a new problem and a new problem, and you have to decide what problem you get let through in the end. This would be the first game of this series where Enigma has now gotten through, as Enigma decide that Undying was too big of an issue, and Dream have first pick. They actually didn't even take that. I think the dice roll, or the coin flip, sorry, I think Brame won it, but they took Gaia, and Enigma took second pick, I want to say. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they're like decided that they're fine just banning this Undying and going forward. Alchemist, a very brave first phase hero. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So does this indicate it's a flex pick, or is this just them being confident in the Alch? Excuse me.
I'll be real with you. I ain't no idea.
Yeah, like I'm looking at this thinking, maybe we see a 4 Alch, a 3 Alch, something's gonna come out here.
I've not liked. I mean, looking into the history of Alch as a support, I've not really enjoyed seeing it that much. I know OG were playing with it, Misha played it, Seb played it, and every time I didn't really like it. I know they gave it a couple buffs in a new patch with that. Was it a talent or something that allows the acid spray to give armor to allies now? Yeah, but it doesn't really make sense as, oh yes, this is the big buff of Alchemist, we're going to pick it into Enigma, because it pretty much isn't relevant against that hero. And I would say Alch as a core is even countered by Enigma.
All your net worth goes down the drain inside a black hole, getting sucked away. I mean, maybe the argument is Eidolons plus a ranged support deals with acid spray again with a ranged support deals with Eidolons in the laning stage, but yeah, definitely a curious one. And going back for their own DP, it felt like Sumail is kind of zoned in, locked himself on his hero this series. Looks pretty good on it. And Earth Spirit for GH was definitely a menace in the previous game.
5 seconds remaining.
It was nice, but the biggest problem I had with it compared to this Tiny, right, and we're seeing this again in this game, was Tiny found a lot more ways to get gold. Well, at the end, he had like 15k net worth, and in these mid-game fights, this Tiny has a Blink, this Tiny has a 4-staff, he's starting to build towards a Lotus Orb and a Yules, and he has so many ways to help get involved in these fights to either save allies or halt the enemy. Meanwhile, GH, all he was able to really scrape together was Brown Boots, Urn, and a BKB. He didn't even finish upgrading his stick into a wand. And that feels bad. It feels really bad. Like we saw when Sumail got clipped, they needed that 4-staff. You see just the amount of versatility that Tiny's able to have in comparison, and if this game, if Nigma don't really pop off, we could see a similar situation where he's kind of poverty.
I'm starting to wonder what Kuro's going to be playing this game, though. Enchantress, Chen gone, can't even go back for any of these other kind of GH cross Kuroki flex heroes that maybe they could have picked up with the Io, the Earthshaker. Lots of support bans from Brame aiming towards them. Disruptor is something that Kuro has played from time to time. Maybe, grab something like I don't know, Phoenix here.
For Brame, they... Actually, if you want to finish out Nigmas, I mean, for them, they could go still just any kind of lane, strong laner. They have Edge open to them still. Oh no, Edge was banned. Sorry, my bad.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. There's no AA Undying. Like, a lot of Kuro's hero pool is just gone.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, go on with Brame. That's their pick. They're going into reserve time.
Damage! I want damage. Tiny is damage, but I would like more damage. You are playing into Alk. You're playing into DP. These are heroes with a lot of health, and I want to see ways to kill them. You have this Enigma Black Hole. Sure, what are you pouring on top of it in the early game? I like this Shadow Shaman a lot. Fighting into the stuns, the Eidolons, Tiny's combo, some Shadow Shaman, ult, Zeus. Yeah, this is damage.
There's your damage.
And I like it. I like it a lot. It also is nice when you're playing into kind of big meaty boys. Zeus's shard giving that percentage damage just makes things a little bit easier. And as well, you have that Midnight Pulse. So it looks like they shouldn't have any struggle to really kill Nigma's heroes this game. The biggest issue I see for them is just that they are quite squishy early game. Obviously, Tiny's going to work his way slowly towards that Blink. They're going to have to give him a lane to kind of get that, or he'll get it through just kills in the early game. The Shadow Shaman can die quite easily to Earth Spirit. Plus, I mean, right now they could just pick some initiating guy that goes in, and I feel like Shaman would have a rough game. Like maybe something with kill pressure on lane. You could. I'm just thinking like back, because CK used to be a really popular hero, but it kind of stopped getting picked up. Because even though it'd be like, oh, I don't want to play CK, there's an Enigma Black Hole and there's Zeus and it sucks, but like the burst ability to just massacre someone at the start of a fight with Blink, and also like the laning presence of the stun, it used to be like quite terrifying, but I don't think Mind Control really plays it.
I kind of feel like you want ranged hero with Earth Spirit as well. Winter Wyvern looks like probably going to be Kuro's hero here, but they do still have the potential flex, and it's probably one of the perfect times to do it with the Death Prophet. Sumail plays it 3-4 games in a row, and you're like, Sumail, and then suddenly, oh, Mind Control's playing it, eh? I didn't quite expect that.
Yeah, 100, they could definitely do that, and it pairs nice with this Earth Spirit.
100? Yeah, alright.
I'm sorry, old man. Yes, Gareth, 100%. They could definitely put the Death Prophet in the off lane.
Dire team bad.
Yeah. You little zoomer.
Whatever. They needed something to cancel this black hole, threaten it, and the Winter Wyvern does a good job there. It just feels like they are trying to cover little weaknesses and holes. I think this opening of Alt DP is so bold to me. It reads that they have a game plan in mind of how they want to play the game. Like, it's pretty exposed, right? Like, Brame gets to answer and try and deal with this and come up with their own strategy of how do we want to counter this, because otherwise it's just, okay, we're picking supports and utility and stuff to sort of deal with Brame's lineup and, yeah, deal with that as they go.
Yeah, I mean, Brame, coming back to the Shadow Shaman pick, it's always nice to have this support being able to cover one of your weaknesses for their side as well, being tower push. Enigma, pretty good with Eidolons and Wraith Pact and whatever, but having that additional ability to even mirror what the DP's doing. Like, if Sumail shows with his DP exoing a tier 1, you've got Shadow Shaman going off to the other side of the map and finding the return kill on a tower elsewhere.
And the biggest thing, Gary, the Roche. How many times have we seen the Shadow Shaman hit level 6 and they're like, alright boys, so Roche, and do a 12-minute Roche with Shaman wards. they can
5
absolutely
seconds remaining.
steal that right from under Nigma's nose if they're not careful, because it's something that they're going to want to do. And this is kind of like a general DP pattern. Use first exorcism for a tower. If it doesn't go down, use the second exorcism to secure the tower, and you need to use the next one. If you're really, really strong, you can maybe use the second, third exorcism to take the Roshan. If not, you take the mid tower, and then you use the next one for the pit, right? But Shaman can definitely do it way earlier. You can tank with these Eidolons.
Radiant team pick.
You're gonna have oh, the Clinks is back.
It comes around again.
But it's to be fair, it is definitely a little bit harder this game because your ability to chase is a lot weaker on Brame. Like there's no bat running someone down
10 seconds
and
remaining.
stuff like that. They have still a lot of useful tools. They have
5
like
seconds
Blink
remaining.
Tiny's going to be able to toss people back. Shaman also might be looking towards getting that Blink and doing a lot of pickoffs. Same with Enigma. There's a lot of kind of Blink potential here on them.
They've also got a lack of, a hero that goes in and breaks vision, right? Tiny kind of wants to wait till he sees his target to blink out a toss. Shadow Shaman kind of squishy. Is Klink's going to be the one just invis running in to start the fight? Or is this Brame just looking to counter-initiate onto what Enigma bring towards their towers and towards Roshan?
I think Tiny might just have to tank it. But
Okay.
something that is always nice is you're playing with Zeus, so whenever they're making a move, they have the option of, okay, we think something's up, let's just pop the Zeus ult.
You may now select your
Hi.
heroes.
Sniper! Here we go.
Oh
Miracle
my God.
Sniper.
I love sniper games.
And
I'm
it's
so
the-
excited.
But it's the MCDP and Kuro's playing Alchemist. Sumail's playing Winter Wyvern. It's a complete change-up.
Wait, what?
They're going here into Game 3 completely changing what they've been playing the past few series and games.
I think Wyvern is meant to be good against Zeus mid. I feel like I remember seeing that matchup happen at Arlington. I feel like... Oh god, my memory is failing me. But I think this actually is not a bad matchup for mid.
Okay.
Even though obviously the kind of... the first thing you think of is, oh, but he uses Cold Embrace and then Zeus uses Electric. But no, I think it's pretty good. I think the range from Wyvern is really nice as well.
You outrange of the Arctic Burn. You kind of counter push the wave with your Splinter Blast.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm a fan of it for sure. They have a lot of really long range cores on Enigma Galaxy this game, and Brame don't really have the reach to deal with it. They have to be really keen with their vision game, which Zeus helps with for sure. But they need to be
He
getting on
does.
these wards.
I think that kind of compounds the fact they don't have that tanky initiation hero as well. If they're not able to break past the front line of a Kuro, Alkan, and GH Earth Spirit to get onto the sniper and get turned around on by a curse or a kickback from the Earth Spirit, things could be difficult for them. But yeah, a weird and wonderful draft from Nigma here. Kuro Alchemist, definitely something that I'm excited to see what he does with.
I'm so turned off by Out 5. It is. I'm just not a fan of this hero. He feels so sad, but I'm not gonna say it's worthless. I just don't like it. It's like a personal thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have acid spray with Sniper in lane, potentially against that Enigma with the Eidolons, so they've got ways to deal with that. And GH with this Earth Spirit pairing with the DP of Mind Control can have a pretty solid lane themselves against a Clinks and a Shadow Shaman.
Yeah.
I think Enigma Galaxy have set themselves up really nicely with kind of wonky picks to win out lanes, got good team fight, scale into that late game as well. But Brame, they have Enigma. And it always feels like he's that, he's that one up. He's the ace in the hole. Like, hey, I've got Black Hole. I've got the ability to also just push out waves and force you to react to me over and over again. As Enigma are all smoked up, and they see Nande. The Clinks rolled upon by GH. Lined it up perfectly, but into Invis we go.
God, Invis level 1. That's not gonna feel great. But you do what you must to not get first blooded. Pretty good smoke there, though. To force even that skill is just going to relieve a little bit of pressure in the off lane. They can maybe get some denies, knowing that there's no searing arrows. And
Yeah.
it's nice.
And compound things a little further.
The battle
Oh, concoction. Wound up by Kuro. Doesn't have any high ground vision, so he's going to get run at here by the tiny Shadow Shaman and the Zeus. GH coming in to save his captain. Bit of zap back from the Zeus, though. Going to bring down Kuro for first blood.
Oh, my boy. He is dead.
Out
Very
5.
good for Wish. Very, very good for Wish.
Oh, what's
Look
that,
at him. He's
fast bottle?
literally about to get his bottle, yeah.
Incredibly close to it. It's a long walk back to lanes, though. You know, Spartan's come. He's tried to de-ward. Nothing up there on the high ground. It's going to allow GH and Mind Control to have a good grasp on this first wave at the very least. Miracle having to wander down bottom as well. As 11 already got that first deny out of the demonic conversion. And Kuroki here just trying to hold the lane for him.
If I have to think about this Alk, I liked what you said about...
You do have to, yeah.
I do have
That's
to
your
think
job.
about this Alk. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. The gears are turning a little bit. I think what you're saying is nice, because every time we've seen a sniper play in these pro games, I feel like they really struggle in the mid game, like in terms of damage and not having like safety. How many times have we seen some BKB satanic build just because they're scared of getting gone on and dying, right? So it's made up for by the fact that the lane can be really strong, especially when they get these points in shrapnel. Oh, we're just tossing in the miracle right now, bot.
Yeah, they've got concoction to back him up and a good amount of damage from headshot though. So Desire's gonna get as good as he was giving.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You're playing with a you're playing with a 5 support who has a stun for you, a way to make you hit harder. Like they definitely have kill threat in this lane. Between Alchemist and Sniper, we'll give them a couple levels.
Yeah, and honestly, like we don't think about it that much because Alk is usually a carry, but Berserk Potion as a support spell is actually pretty insane. You put that on the Sniper, he's got 50 attack speed, HP regen, dispels him as well. So a nice bit of safety there from Kuro if he gets to that point. How's that top lane going for them? Waves pushing in towards MC.
It's this annoying hurricane creep.
A curious snipe from the Earth Spirit. Gauntlet thrown. Winter Wyvern gives it to Spartan.
Alright, we're... Spawn getting a little nice kind of half pull off there. Only onto the 2 creeps. It's just going to make this lane go back. I think especially bot, the creep equilibrium is something to look at a lot because with this tiny... Yeah, there's kill threat from Sniper and Alchemist, but if the creeps are on 11's tower, this tiny can get a toss back and the kills are kind of, you know, very scary. Same kind of top. You're playing a Shadow Shaman who has short range. Anytime he walks up to kind of do something, he is at threat of getting rolled on by GH and getting kicked back. And there's not, you know, Nande doesn't really have anything to protect him.
And I've got that level 2 Spirit Siphon now as well.
Yeah.
Dust is there on Earth Spirit, so they could actually aim the Clinks if they kind of whittle him down, chip away at him. That's what Mind Control's doing now. You're putting Nande within kill threshold. They do get the shackles back on the DP, but now the turnaround comes, and they are focusing the Clinks. Dust is up. GH and Mind Control make short work of him. And that's just that little move. Like, it doesn't seem like much when it's in the moment. You know, that Spirit Siphon, you chase him for, what, 2 seconds? But that puts him just below that threshold where you know that if we go again 5 seconds later, we get the kill.
Yeah. And on bot they're going as well.
Yeah, tossing around Kuroki. They're under the acid spray now, though. Avalanche there, trying to slow down Miracle's damage. But 11 dying quickly to these headshots, and Miracle's actually going to turn with another concoction. They'll get him a double kill. Sniper off to a roaring start.
Scary lane, like you said. This acid spray. Miracle, they go on Miracle. He just walks into the acid spray. He doesn't care. He knows that as long as he's in this safe space, they're doing so much more damage to Brain than they can do back.
So, Sheepa, what are your thoughts on Alk 5?
Yeah, I'm like a massive fan. Like, honestly, it's like one of my favorite things in the entire world.
Oh, you were saying it during the draft.
No,
sorry.
I hate it. It's good in lane. It's definitely good in lane. I think my biggest issue with Alk as a support comes more from like this kind of mid game where he starts to like throw up the concoction, but
he's like an ogre
around and like stuns himself, and it just like looks kind of weird.
He's an ogre. No, when he gets shard, he basically has bloodlust. His concoction is just fire blast. Add a bit of minus armor, and it's all good in the world.
Or just compare it to like Shadow Shaman, who has this instant hex, this channeled spell that is, you know, you can get it out and it does a lot. Alk has to sit there channeling like a goof, and just stare them down and hope they don't BKB or react or anything. You have to kind of hide and like use vision to your advantage with it. It's the like this is the kind of style that I'm not a fan of, but I'm not saying it's bad. Again, I'm not saying it's bad. I just it can definitely work, and we've seen it win games, and it's already winning this bot lane, which is definitely everything you could ask for.
Yeah, winning I need some more kills on this 11 Enigma. I'm going to try and go for it again. Inside the acid spray, taking a lot of headshot damage. And one more peep will take him down. GH also arriving to save up Miracle here and find another double kill potentially. Concoction comes, and there it is. Miracle 4-0-0 to start this game. I was about to start talking about his CS looking a little sad. He's down at the bottom of all the cores, but now more than ready to catch up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Kuroki playing in the trees, just coming from behind.
I mean, they've shown GH bottom. Look at mind control. He's level 5, and he's just diving onto tier 1. Spartan, and trying to get in on top of the DP, but his catapult starting to chip away at that tower.
Yeah. Right now, I think they maybe need to bring someone top to kind of punish this. It looks like Zeus is the one that's going to make the move, which I like. You know, just going to secure the damage needed to kill mind control. You don't have a TP on Earth Spirit to respond to this.
And they'll find him. Gets off a Spirit Siphon. Zeus is here, though, with level 3 Arc Lightning. Thunder God's Wrath at the ready as well, but mind control, it still has a Fairy Fire, and he's not even going to have to use it with level 3 Siphon, just drains all the life back into himself.
Alright, isn't enough damage, guys. I've totally overestimated the damage.
Dire's bottom tower is under
And this push from bottom lane just keeps on going. Like Miracle is plinking away at this tier 1. Malefice used on an Earth Spirit Illusion while GH lurks on that right-hand side in the shadows. Tower not in deny range. So Braim's still going to try and defend it, but this backstab could be huge. 11 having already died twice. Enigma has been shut down tremendously by Enigma already. Kuroki gets walked into by 11. Yeah, found danger. The Thunder God's Wrath will kill off the Alchemist. But you've lost your Enigma a third time in this lane. Shackles up at top on mind control, but yet again, he doesn't really seem to mind too much. Phase Boots, Ring of Protection, Fairy Fire. Yeah.
It's obviously not ideal when your support leaves because he's not able to just freely lane the way he was before, but now they're TPing back to Spirit.
Oh, not quite landing the roll. They're going to finish off Spartan, though, with a Crypt Swarm and another couple of touches from mind control that earns on him, but the Fairy Fire there from Shadow Shaman keeps him alive. And Desire, this time his rotation saves him in the raindrops. Oh, it's enough for Spartan to stay alive.
Spartan God.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, good rotation. This is the kind of rotations and ideas I was thinking about for Braim. Like they brought Wish top, but they just don't have the control really to keep mind control in place long enough to kill him. Just having Tiny TPing and reacting, getting that little return kill. I think they don't want to give them this tower for free.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going on the Clinks now. Concoction from range. Nande into Invis as Kuroki places a sentry under the tower, hoping to give chase. Samael did move up here. And Kuro winding up another Concoction. I don't know if he can land it on the Tiny in time. It will, because he's launched it on himself. Self-stunt, Desire, slowed by the Arctic Burn, and Mind Control. He's got these Exo Ghosts, and more than enough damage to bring the Tiny down. So not only do they get the tier 1 bottom, thanks to the Sniper, they're now going to get tier 1 top, and this is just Enigma, really just executing this game plan to perfection.
It's starting to look a little bad.
The Clinks! He's just dead to the Alchemist! Kuroki just wanders up there, finds the Clinks. Half HP, bursts him down. Now they're TPing bottom because the shackles are onto Miracle. Sniper throws out a shrapnel. Another bit of lightning from Wish does zap him down. They get that vision, and they see Miracle on the retreat as Enigma trying to react to this. Oh, Kuro, though, self-stunned. He tried to channel it and TP down, and Wish, he's got a double. Make it a triple. No, not quite. But they do bring down all 3 members of Enigma in that bottom lane.
Okay. That was
That's my fault. I praised them, and
yeah,
bad things happened.
I was thinking good things about them in my head. Okay, so that move top, great. The dive's great. Mind control has been exerting so much pressure top that Braim have been just TPing and trying to respond to it and bringing heroes, and you have to respond to it. And he's still getting what he wants. He's getting kills. He's doing a good job. He's forcing Clinks off the lane. He's really suffering in his net worth, and this is by far a much different picture than last game. However, TPing bot like that, 1 by 1, when your sniper's already dead, you need to have a situation bot where, you know, Miracle at least has some health, and you can use the shrapnel together, you know, combine your spells, big as team, you know, and just the TPs are taking longer and longer due to, you know, one after the other, and suddenly no one's there to save each other. It's kind of just
chain
save
feeding
your
a
body
little bit.
syndrome, yeah. And that just gives Enigma that farm that he was struggling with. You know, his lane went so badly. It's those kinds of kills that gives you the XP and gold to make it back in this game. And we're seeing the build that Saberlight, you know, brought in Stockholm. This Urn just being able to not have to go blink. And look at him go now with the damage.
Yeah, just black hole Kuroki. Winter's Curse is there, though, to turn it back around on the Enigma and the Clinks. They're just down here alone. There's no supports to back them up because they're trying to gank up top. Mind Control gets the two-man silence and the Spirit Siphons out. Toss up into the Serpent Walls. He's trapped now. Wish and Spartan trying to bring him down, but Mind Control is just far too tanky.
He's so
Phase
tanky.
Boots, one charges, raindrops, everything to save him, and they move on to Desire now. Nigma just snapping into action very quickly to get Sumail a triple kill. How did he manage that? Just kills one bot, TP's top, gets another couple.
Yeah, he's starting to make his rotations now as well. Getting involved, feeling strong. He'll have that Witchblade now, and it's a lot of damage. I think Nande is feeling quite stressed. He's not really got free places to farm because they are struggling. They can't take the objectives. They still have mid and bot tower up on the side of Radiant. You know, usually Enigma wants to take that tower and start to farm the enemy jungle, and then that gives your carry the space to rotate between triangle and the bottom camps. But yeah, they're all just standing together in this jungle, and it definitely feels bad for them. At least their mid tower's still standing.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, it's being pinged out, though. Exo is ready. Mind Control could make that move in towards mid, but you look at what Brame are doing. Spirit Vessel charges, 3 of them up on 11.
Yeah.
And they're angling in towards mid. Sumail's went to Wyvern. He's got Curse ready in just a couple of seconds, and they've scanned over on the dire side of the river, so they know there's people there. That's why Sumail's playing so defensively now, actually backing up to his own triangle and popping the invis.
It's a shame that didn't work for them. But, you know, Enigma are just gonna keep it safe, keep it... They have a spirit standing in front of Miracle in that triangle for them. Like, they see that there's no heroes on the map, and they understand, okay, we have to break this smoke. So now, you know, realizing that Miracle's not in danger, GH will leave the nest and go bot.
I mean, this is pretty fearless from Mind Control. Every time I look up, there's just heroes swarming around him, but he gets the silence off and the TP home. No way. And in the meantime, GH is killing off Desire.
And they're looking at Nande right now. Do they have vision on him? No, but...
GH sees the stacks.
Dire's middle tower is under
He wants
attack.
people to come and clear them. Dire Vision does see Sumail coming up into this area. And they're TPing into mid. Wish trying to join in, defend that mid tier 1. Enigma in position though, and they're eyeing up this fight. Now Spartan not able to get the angle. And in comes Sumail. Aiming for Wish. GH will find the silence. Catch onto Spartan. Mind Control breaks out of the shackles as 11. Concoction not quite landing. Close from Kuro though.
Dire's
And now Exo towards the tier 1.
They're keeping up pressure really well. This, this Alchemist, he's so good, bro. He's so good. 5 Alch. Pick it now. Stop rising.
Have you tried being sincere?
No.
No?
But seriously, though, I think he's playing insane this game. I think his laning was fantastic. His use of the fog and vision was great at getting kills on that bot lane. He moved and rotated.
And Brame looking to fight back, though. They cleared their angels, but look at the overwhelming damage from Sumail with this Witchblade. Gets a double kill. TP out successful from the last remaining member of Brame there.
But you lost 2 cores.
You did indeed.
Not looking good. How do they find their way back into this game? They're quite a ways off from the tiny blink. Enigma also, he went for that vessel, which is pretty typical. I don't think it's wrong to have not rushed a blink, especially when you're playing into a Wyvern. We saw bot how easy it was to cancel that black hole. But he's definitely finding it really hard to get into these fights, especially with Enigma Galaxy's like catch with this roll. The DP Mind Control is so brave. He's just walking in without a single care.
It's just kind of wild how different this is. You know, we've seen a couple of Enigma Galaxy series now. This is the second one where it's gone to 3 games. And in the prior 5 games, we've been like, yeah, Enigma, they look okay. They're winning some here and there. Not looking awful, but this seems like TI Enigma. This seems like the Enigma that desperately wants to get to TI. They're fighting, brawling, getting on top of Tiny. Pops down the Verdurous Dale, but Caesar Serenity will not save you there, and Kuro has the stun, catching out Spartan with his concoction. Similar to what we saw in Game 2 from Brame, it's suffocating. They're all over the map. They're down bottom killing 2, and they're immediately smoking across.
Yeah, it is very similar to last game. Go to bot, run top. Maybe we'll see them go bot again. They're just chasing Nande down, keeping him out of his Ancients. I mean, that's one of the big ways that Clinks gets farmed, is just by hitting Ancients, getting stacks, and they're not giving them that space to breathe.
Oh, GH so close to getting the latch on him. I'll focus the Tiny instead. Earn charge placed, roll back in, kill off Desire. I wish TPing forward here a little risky, but it looks like Nigma have set themselves to back away.
Mind Control wants a Roche. I don't know if they'll do it right now, but Mind Control is pinging it, standing in there. They might just try pushing out top first and sweeping through this jungle, or they're just going to walk right into Roche and not care at all.
Yeah, level 4 acid spray, and level 3 acid spray. And give them that minus armor.
They don't have Blink from Enigma. There's not really any easy way for them to contest this pit. They need the vision first of all, but Wish might need to ult just to scout everyone's positions to start this fight. But who's starting your fight? It's
exactly.
So hard.
That was my big issue with their draft, is like Tiny, but then he needs Blink, so he needs time, he needs farm. And when your other cores are behind and getting picked off, you need them to be farming, so Tiny's not going to get that priority.
Yeah, and the smoke is a good idea. I think they were looking around top, because sometimes did they even know there was a Roche going on? I have no idea. The smoke made me think so. Or maybe they just, I don't know. They're looking for another fight.
So bold and fearless. Magnetizes the Tiny. Does get tossed around here as they shackle over on the DP. Spirit Siphons and one charges. Not going to keep him alive because he's burnt down by the Zeus. The rest of Nigma now on the retreat. So Brame, a little bit of positioning there to hold the high ground under their Observer Ward. Gave them the vision that they needed. And fighting into Aegis. Brave of them.
Yeah, great 2 pickoffs for Brame. Getting that DP kill, especially, who's proven so hard to take down all game, having to expend the snakes to do it. But you can be pretty happy with that. That smoke around gave them the really good positioning to take that fight at least.
Sumail gets the hit onto Nande. Kuro has sentries.
Yes. They have sentries.
They will get the reveal on him, but the avalanche, just enough to hold them back. So far, Sumail having a perfect game. 7-0-6 on this Wyvern. Boots of Travels, Witchblade, and already on his way to Aghanim Scepter as he TP's top. Helped out by GH, who lands another perfect roll onto Spartan. And look at the damage coming in from the Wyvern. Blows up the Shadow Shaman. And they're not relinquishing control either. Like, 3 heroes are still stood in the Dire Ancients, making sure the Clinks can't be farming there. And going back in on the Tiny. Concoction, Acid Spray. Bit of damage from the Sniper and the DP. Finish off Desire in the trees.
Nigma playing very aggressively with their wards. They've had this one up in the cliff for quite some time now on the triangle for Brame. It's the one place where Clinks wants to be, and on top of that, it's very difficult because sometimes when the map moves like this, the carry will just go to the enemy triangle, but they're not even giving space for that. Like, having your mid tower up, having your top tower up, it makes entering that triangle so hard.
Hey, look at Spartan. He's got, I want to de-ward, I want to get some vision down. And Kuroki shuts it down completely as GH annihilates the Shadow Shaman once again.
That's aggressive play.
That's the problem you pointed out in the draft, right? Shadow Shaman, quite a slow, sluggish hero if he's ever just slightly out of position. GH is going to find him.
Yeah, I definitely like the damage and stuff that came out from the Zeus and Shaman pick, but playing into an Earth Spirit, you're definitely seeing the problems with both squishy heroes and how fast they can be ran at.
Yeah, 5k lead being built up by Nigma. And Zeus still farming decently. Clink's not too far behind his opponents. And a good little jump from Wish. Gets away from the roll. Second round from GH, missing this time as well. And 11, it looks like he's looking for the black hole. Catches out the Winter Wyvern, but look at Miracle. Just plinking away at 11. They'll find him. Wish also magnetized and taken down by the sniper from long range. Kuro's Alchemist a little too deep there, just holding back the rest of Brame. But Wish, his kill streak picked up by Miracles. Even more money into the hands of Sniper.
They got very brave there. Not brave, sorry. They got very aggro. Like, Earthspirit used every single rock he had just to keep chasing that Zeus with Rolling Boulder, which meant he didn't have a rock to silence the Enigma Black Hole. And they just... I mean, not like they really needed it. This Wyvern... Oh god, Desire is running for his life right now.
Oh man. I mean, what's left of it? Unstoppable. A Miracle Sniper coming out here to play. And like, even though Brame got 3 kills there, it just didn't feel like a victory because you're spending Black Hole, you're spending Thunder God's Wrath, and you're not getting an overwhelming victory.
I think you're kind of happy with 3 pickoffs when... Not pickoffs, but 3 kills, especially when you're behind and playing into an Aegis.
Oh, but look at GH! How's he found this? Rolls into the trees, then rolls away. Sumail in mind control, thinking about the dive under tower. Exploiting that Enigma pre-BKB, and while the Black Hole's on cooldown.
What I do really like is Wish went for an E-Blade first item. Originally, I think when the game was a little bit more even, he was queuing up that Kaya, you know, wanting to go for an item build like that, you know, tank up a bit first, get some stats, get a little bit of that, and then Q. I think he wanted something else, not E-Blade. It was like... I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he built that Kaya into an E-Blade. He's not very tanky at all, very, very squishy. If they catch him, he dies. But if he gets the go... He gets, he did so much damage. Like, he nearly killed Sumail straight up with that combo.
Oh, Spartan. He's been saved by the E-Blade for now, and they've got some good damage onto Mind Control and Sumail, but they're so tanky, they withstand it with the Spirit Siphons, and Miracle just left to open up. So much damage from him as the Winter's Curse catches the 2 remaining members. They buy back on Tiny, but Nande, he looks like he's already dead. Screwed over by the Sumail jump, and Miracle picking up a triple. He's godlike now. And Desire, he's going to get caught as well, it looks like. They've got the vision. Assassinate into Concoction. Kuroki just keeps giving chase, allowing them to find another kill.
Oh,
Die back, Tiny.
Yeah, I mean, that's his blink gold. He's just lost it all, pretty much.
Kuro giving the tip to him.
Damn. Aren't they friends or something? Oh, no. I don't know if this team likes each other or hates each other, because we had that duel at the start as well onto Spartan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Think so?
I don't know.
I don't know. Miracle's just next to the base, killing Spartan again.
Goodness gracious me.
This is quickly spiraling out of control, and if Brame want to win, they need to kind of find a way to get a handle on it. Enigma has a blink, so there is a chance that Enigma bunch up and they get a good Black Hole, especially they need to get it onto this Wyvern, and then, you know, maybe the fight goes really well. They need to find space for Tiny to finish his blink. He was close, but then he died back. And that's quite unfortunate too. You have the damage. Zeus with an E-Blade, and there's no BKBs currently, other than DP. I think Sumail and Miracle can very much so die to this burst. But it's hard. You have Gleipnir too on Clinks. He's definitely not like poverty mode. He's got 1 item, he's going for more. This time we will see him not go for that Daedalus straight up. He's just gonna get a Dragon Lance and then go for that BKB. Yeah, you could try and play a pick-off game, maybe here.
Yeah, because we've seen them execute these very difficult, kind of nuanced team fights with weird initiations where they had that Shadow Fiend, Rubik, Pudge, dragging people into Requiems and stuff like that. Maybe this time around they can do it with this Blink Black Hole out of 11.
Yeah. 11 playing this tree line is pretty much kind of ideal. It might be good to ward it as well.
That lane ward saw him, yeah. Yeah, they pinged it. They know 11's hiding in the trees. Sumail. Half health from 1 burst of Zeus, and then Zeus dies.
Yeah. This is the body issue you talked about, isn't it? You can't... A Zeus breaking the vision like that and walking into 4 heroes, he'll just pretty much die instantly.
Yeah, who starts? 11's been scouted. Blink is cancelled. Oh, dearie me. It's all falling apart now.
That was a very impactful lane ward, yeah. As soon as you pointed it out, they just started playing south. I mean, like, the Miracle's losing at this point.
Oh, man.
But yeah, they just started playing south side of the tree line, and that made it impossible. Like, Zeus is coming out, he's like, come on, let's go. And he's like, well, I'm in the trees, and they're not playing near the trees. I can't Black Hole this.
24,000 damage in a 24-minute game. He's done 1,000 damage a minute, this sniper has.
He has, yeah.
Bloody ridiculous.
Well, they have Blink on Tiny now. Maybe they can do some toss-back plays. Otherwise, the kind of game plan for Enigma seems fairly straightforward. You just keep your farm up. You keep applying this pressure. The next Roche is available. Oh no, it is available in 1 minute's time. So as long as they keep this top side secure.
Oh man, GH.
I mean, they're looking for kills instead.
Yeah, he's basically, they've all TP down here. They want to fight in this triangle.
Not for too long. Their vision is top and Roast is top, so they should definitely keep playing. If they hold a smoke, then they have this ward bot, so if someone shows on it, they have the option, to either go Roche or just smoke right back into them.
Spartan. He gets the Hex on GH, but now he quickly realizes it's time to turn and run. Yeah, he's dead. GH will keep tabs on him, and there comes Sumail with his freshly purchased Aghanim Scepter, allowing Mind Control to get the kill. So they remove the vision. Now they stampede up towards the Ancients. 20 seconds for Roshan to spawn.
11 will die immediately soon.
Oh yeah, and he really needs this money for BKB. And Sumail can just solo kill him here, it feels like. Yeah, they've got that high ground ward. 11 tries to break the trees, and he's got a bit of backup coming. There's the Winter's Curse, though, to finish off the job. And Brame just not nearby enough while the backstab is arriving. Miracle's hasted. He's silver edged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all it takes to bring down Desire's Tiny. Sumail did get found here, though, by the Zeus and the Clink's damage. And a cold embrace. Bought a bit of time for the rest of Nigma to gather up their forces and bring down Wish's Zeus. That big hit there from Miracle. As Nande will TP back down towards the bottom lane. That's a big kill on the Wyvern, but they lose Enigma and the Zeus for it.
Miracle's very strong. Their Tiny getting down by him is pretty rough. It's like they're rushing to try and save and help their heroes, but Enigma just connecting from the south, and they're running into each other, and they're definitely weaker on Brame at this point. They need to just keep playing for these single pickups. Like, Sniper's showing bot right now. This could be potentially huge. You have your Shaman here, you have your Clinks here. They have probably enough damage to kill him, but...
Didn't have the confidence,
TP's
though.
going to TP too.
Oh!
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, neutral him.
GH? Where are you off to?
I think he was hunting for Nande.
Yeah, I think he knew kind of where he was. Not too far off.
They did have that ward. I think they saw him go invis, so he just guessed. But he doubled back for the neutral AM, so he lived. It's actually a pretty good guess otherwise.
Yeah, fortunate move for Nande.
Yeah.
But now they are being hemmed back in their base. The bunker must be created. Everyone's respawned now, but is it smoke to Roche time? Is this your black hole moment?
They can't get the Roche, I don't think, but they can hold their high ground. The biggest thing they have going for them is that they haven't gotten full usefulness out of this tiny blink yet. There's... Early on in this game, especially when you're playing Sniper and you have a build like Silver Edge Hurricane Pike, you're not the tankiest hero in the world. There is a land where they throw him back into tier 4s and he does die twice. The main thing is just Enigma are probably gonna follow it up with a Wyvern ult.
Oh, there it is on the Clinks. A high ground vision with the sentry placed next to it. Finds Nande. BKB delayed even further. And Enigma... Are they getting ready to go high ground?
Sniper for sure.
Sniper, one of the better heroes to do this.
Yeah. Last game, one of the things that Nigma tried to make an effort to do, even while losing to Brame, like overwhelming them, was they tried to make sure they dewarded the areas every time Brame left them. It's something that Brame's not doing here in response to Nigma. They're just being quelled by these wards constantly.
Well, they try the toss back, but Desire doesn't get it. Oh, that damage with that Ghost Scepter to assassinate, and GH, the sharpshooter, lands it with the kick.
There goes one of your conditions. I guess maybe your second condition for defense is they all group up as 5 and you get a black hole?
Yeah, I mean, one way to do that is to, send Spartan out on a recon mission, hope the enemy dogpiles onto the Shadow Shaman, and then you come in with a big black hole.
Yeah. Guys, commit 5 heroes to kill the Shaman. Isn't he juicy? Isn't he beautiful?
Oh, he's got 10 deaths already.
It's not great.
Hang on. Yeah, 10 out of 43 is a quarter of the deaths. 14 deaths on Desire. Oh my god, Tiny.
Yeah.
Sad story.
He's had to put himself out there a fair amount to try and farm his Blink Dagger. Miracle's really just been preying on supports super hard this game. They're so weak, and he's level 21. He's got his items.
Yeah, he's even got his Ankh Shard now as well. It'll disengage out the concussive grenade.
Yeah. And 11's been doing his best all game to try and push out this top lane and just force any heroes to respond and give his team like a little bit of wiggle room. Hiding in those trees. Ooh.
Smoke's gonna break. TP out. Oh, it's gonna be close. Sumail. Oh, by the skin of his teeth, that Enigma gets out of there. Wasting a bit of time on this Aegis though. 2.5 minutes remain. Enigma gonna have to rally themselves together. As it looks like, oh, Miracle, did he see? He's seen Spartan, hasn't he? He just blinks forward. Oh, yeah. What a gorgeous, gorgeous performance out of Miracle here.
Yeah, this is not the big game 3 I was kind of hoping for, given the first 2 games.
Uh-huh.
But if they come back, it would be very exciting. Or at least give them one, real good run for their money. Nanda's got his BKB now at least, so that makes things a little bit better. And Miracle, opting for that blink and Hurricane Pike, it's not like he's got a Daedalus worth of damage. There's chance.
Yeah, I mean, they try and pick off Kuro top. Chemical Rage not making him tanky enough. And Clinks is... No, Enigma we talked about is one of these kind of, trump cards where you've got that black hole, the big team fight capabilities. I think also Clinks is... Oh, wow, GH. Just continuing to use these high ground Tinker wards to spot out the tree line play from 11. But I think Clinks is also one of these surprise factors where you're not quite sure what's coming your way. As they toss back Miracle, still holding Aegis, and he gets a concussive grenade out to jump back away. And Mind Control aiming for Desire, but not wanting to dive too deep. Now caught by the shackles under the tower, almost dying to the Serpent wards, and he will be finished off. GH needs the assistance of this Winter's Curse to bring down Spartan with a bit more damage from Sumail. They'll get it. Aegis claimed up as Cold Embrace required again to keep Sumail topped up. Enigma maybe biting off a little more than they could chew there, pushing towards the enemy base.
Yeah, they showed bot, right? So Brain just quickly go top for that Kuroki pick off. I mean, you have to take what you can get. As soon as someone shows somewhere, you have to go where best you can make impact and get these little kills just to have a hope of staying in the game. Good little punish. For Nigma, I do think that they are, still incredibly strong. And as long as Miracle is not out of position, it should be relatively simple for them to just wait for next Roche and then, use that Aegis to end the game. I think they're very much respecting Brame. I think that's the biggest thing you can say here, because another team might have just plonked themselves outside the base and just started sieging with Shrapnel plus Miracle, but they really don't want to be in this position where Tiny is tossing you back or overcommitting and he buys backs and there's a black hole and there's so many little comeback factors on Brame that they're just making sure that they're fully ahead and they're fully happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, just don't forget the context of this. It's game 3 in a series in the lower bracket on your road to TI. Nigma, one of the teams that kind of expected to make it there, so a lot resting on their shoulders to prove not just the fans but the haters that they can still perform. And Brame, it feels like at this this juncture, they probably a little freer, right, in terms of mentality. Like, okay, they're behind 21k deficit, they're being pushed back in their base, but it's all to win for. It's all on the line. Just go for it. And Spartan is one of the kings of building up his team. He's the master of morale. Just a few screams from him and your team can pull up team fights out of the hat that you've never seen before.
The nice thing is, I don't think Brame are doing that terribly in terms of making their comeback work. They are holding their high ground. I think their vision game has been pretty decent too. I mean, their wards are expiring now, but they previously had 3 wards covering the bottom side of the map. They did eventually bring their Shaman bot. Yeah, he died, but he got that D ward on the cliff, which means that it's just easier for Brame to play bot. This constant push from 11 on top lane has meant that, yeah, Nigma are running, up, down, up, down, up, down, but they're not finding the kills at the speed that they used to, and it's mostly on supports.
Nande. He sees Kuro. Launches out a few projectiles, but just chip damage.
With that ward, they lost all their vision, like through it. 2 expired and 1 dewarded. Now it's dark for them, and it is a little scary. Nigma, wary of the fact that Roche isn't going to respawn for a while, so they're happy to play bot and cut these waves. I would like to see them just poke a little bit. I think like you can run these Brame heroes up and down the base by just poking a bot, then they all run bot and stand bot getting ready for that push, then you you're playing in the fog. They don't know where you could maybe poke a top.
Well, you can tell how focused these players are. No one's dropped a chat wheel line in like 10 minutes. As GA just rolls straight across the front of them, silences the Enigma. BKB required from 11. MC, Black Hole. They got the Golden Embrace on GH, though, keeping him alive while Wish jumps in. He's aggressively moved forward. The Winter's Curse now on the Clinks, though. And MC, he's healing back up through the Spirit Siphons. Spartan in the back has caught GH, but I don't think it matters because Miracle is now beyond godlike, taking them down left and right. 3 buybacks from Brame. They need to defend their base desperately. The burning barrage nearly killing off Kuro. They will finish him off in the end. Enigma resetting. They've spent all of their teamfight ultis now, and Brame with a triple buyback. Everything resets and calms down as we wait to see the timer on that Roshan.
And a minute and a half. I mean, that's enough time for Black Hole to come up. So we could see a defense there.
Yeah, and a little swing towards Brame. About 1,000 gold going back their way. So chipping away at the net worth lead that Enigma have built up these 36 minutes. A kill off Desire. Easy one for Miracle.
Miracle's playing savagely. He's out for blood constantly.
A bit of a go here on mind control, but with plate mail up, he's incredibly tanky, and the physical resist almost let him survive. And that,
What a team.
that assassinate nearly, nearly in there.
Just in time, getting what they can. The support's dying so fast to Sniper. Do you think they'll both hit 16 deaths by the end of this?
Probably.
Sad.
I might get up to 20 at this rate.
You know, Brame have a lot of ideas about how to defend. I mean, I'm talking about them a lot, but it's when you're in a position like this, it's so hard, and lots of teams approach it differently. Like some just turtle for their life, but I think Brame they've been really trying to leave the base, and that's kind of how you retain some level of stability in the game. Because even though they're 26k ahead, look at where all that net worth is, and Clinks is still sitting like kind of comfortably there at second. And because they have that, because he's been able to get out, because he managed to get these little kills where he can, even if Shaman's dying for it, it means he's still in the game, he's still scaling, he's still getting items, and this could be what allows him to make that comeback fight.
Yeah, it still feels like he is that surprise factor. You're not quite sure how to play against him, not quite sure how much damage he does. And if you are able to get one of these big black holes, which we haven't had the opportunity for 11 to really land yet, but you apply a burning barrage into the middle of that and people just disappear. Enigma, though, getting the Roshan. Aghanim Scepter going to be handed over to someone here.
And realistically speaking, this game is very wildly in Enigma's favor.
Yes.
I think the win percentage is like super high on Duo Plus. The net worth is 33k now. Like, by all means, they should win this game. But there is always hope for the Black Hole.
Yeah, it feels like an inevitability, but it also, at the same time, doesn't feel like it's an inevitable loss just because the black hole is there.
No, I mean, Samael just needs to make sure his positioning is good. The Enigma doesn't have any Lincolns.
Ah.
So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Samael's pretty much always going to be able to cancel it as long as he is not getting super out of position. I know that top fight went semi-okay. They got that nice black hole just because Samael was like a little bit far out and wasn't able to connect in time to use the curse. But if you're sieging, you're laying out a plan of how you want to siege. Okay, this hero hits the tower, this hero stay behind me. Make sure that this hero is canceling this spell, and this hero is killing this hero. You know, if you see this hero jump, right? All these little things you're talking about as a team.
The process of operations.
Yeah, and it goes the other way as well. Bramer probably talking too. Hey, if this hero walks up on the high ground, toss them back. Or, you know, we have buyback on this hero. Can you bait in with your body, and then we get a black hole, and then we just buy back with you and keep fighting and chase down? Like, you gotta be just thinking about what they can do. I mean, sadly they don't. Speaking of buybacks, they only have one on Enigma.
Oh.
And if he uses black hole, he's not much of a use of a buyback anyway. I think he sold his vessel as well, just to try and get this refresher.
Yeah, looks like it. Every little bit counts.
I think the worst case scenario for Brame is probably just that Enigma goes high ground or something, and someone Spartan walks out of position for like 1 second and just gets blown up by Miracle, who doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, swift blink here as well. He was just sitting in Silver Edge, hiding away, waiting for someone to show. Brame, very disciplined, stay in their base. But now you've got 3 lanes trending towards the dire side. And tier 4 items starting to drop as well. Or finishing to drop. There's a timeless relic for Earth Spirit grabbed up at the very end of them.
Yeah, they used the first half of the Aegis to farm and contain Dire in the base, and now they're going to go high ground.
Yeah, MC front lines. Sniper back line gives the damage. Yeah, Brame don't have any tier 4 items, I don't believe. None for them. They've not been farming neutrals.
Nanda's looking for some right now. But he's doing it under vision of Nigma, I think. Yeah, they spot him going top. They might be a little bit more bold here.
Yeah, they can finish off this tier 3. Mind control blinks straight up there.
Yeah, they saw Clink's top.
Yeah, why not go for it? Assassinate thrown onto Desire, stopping any kind of blink toss initiation. Well done by Miracle. And that's a lane for Nigma, carving their way through the Dire base. As Brame, they look for the defense in the mid lane, but Nigma have already started TPing and filtering back, pushing out top lane, coming back to high ground to hold, not giving any chances here.
Quick sweep. Make sure there's no Clinks here. If they get a Clinks, you know, good for them. And Clinks is going out on his own as well. He's just itemizing for this damage. Nigma are not really giving him the chance for pick off. Something like a sheepstick is not that good for him. You know, looking for someone being alone and killing them. This game is so hard for them that he just can only really try and get that Daedalus and just do as much damage as he can. And he is the key. If he dies, like, the game is so... I mean, he has buyback right now. I wonder if he would buy out if he had enough money for Daedalus, kind of like Ride or Die it.
Yeah, one last chance. Because they're just losing buildings at a drastic rate now. If they don't make a move, if they don't smoke and make a play, they'll just lose another lane of barracks.
They're playing this very patiently. They're not giving Brame the tiny toss target. Because he has to toss to something too. He's not level 20. He doesn't have the no target. And maybe mind control could get picked up there.
Yeah, good bit of damage. No, they chips away at him a little bit. Range racks down, melee still up. And you're right, Nigma absolutely respecting the tools that Brame have here in their high ground defense. And Miracle.
They understand. It's all tiny.
20 seconds on that Aegis. And that could be what they're waiting for, just wait out the Aegis and then make a go. Now 11, he's hiding away in the trees, waiting to see if he can make a jump. But Nigma, they come in, they clear out.
Yeah. I can just imagine how hard it is for Desire to make these decisions too, because you have to put yourself so out of position to try and toss back, and it's not even guaranteed to work, because he has a BKB, he has a Hurricane Pike, unless you're doing this into a black hole, but at that point, Sumail has a Blink Dagger, he's just going to cancel it.
Yeah.
They have this refresher, but you're probably all going to die within that Winter's Curse, or off the back of the end of it. The amount of counter initiation from Nigma, just because of how far ahead they are, it makes this whole process so difficult.
And they've seen the Clinks again. They know he's farmed the Ancients and he's gone down bottom. So Nigma gather up top. Their entire arsenal available at their disposal to throw at these buildings. There's the glyph from Brame and a smoke as 5. This has to work for them or it is lights out. Mind control frontlining. A long wraparound from Spartan. He's making sure he's not out of position. He's so far out of position, he can't be out of position. But they've got to catch and mind control. BKB's up and Sumail just destroys the Tiny. Desire does have buyback and he's going to have to use it. Spartan wrapping in from the back. Gets Serpent Wars down as he hunts for Sumail. There's the Thunder God's Wrath, so no blink in aggressively as Miracle shreds through 11. There's no black hole, there's no refresher, there's no anything. Brame just gets slaughtered. They walk into the meat grinder, get turned into sausage as Nigma demolish them, and they hunt for more diving tier 4s. The Wish Zeus caught out by the Assassinate, and mind control's there with the silence and the jump, and that's got to be it. Nigma They've secured themselves a victory now. Miracle has gone deep fountain diving as Nande. Oh, a bit of damage from the Clinks, but quickly turned around on by the Winter's Curse, and Sumail is there. Good game, well played, it's called. Brame held out to that bitter end, but Nigma, they move forward.
Yeah, the first two games were extremely hype of this series, but this was definitely a flex by Nigma on just what they're capable of. I loved how they were swinging from one side of the map to the other and keeping Brame controlled. This Clinks, which was a menace previously, now felt like he really just couldn't do anything. He was just being constantly shoved out of his Ancients with no real place to farm. I mean, the fact that he found farm anyway is very impressive, but yeah it cost a lot of sacrifice. The support struggled so hard. Their range was very, like low, and the vision from Nigma, just from dominating so hard in this early game, meant that they always kind of saw them, were able to pick them off. This sniper was utilized to the fullest. And GH with those catches all game long. I mean, damn, they just played really well.
Well, this is the kind of, outdraft, the drafting bait and switch we've come to know and love, and Nigma pulling it out at the exact moment they needed to. Kuro going on the 5 Alk, bringing out the mind control DP. Miracle Sniper, 29, 1, and 14 there. A stellar game from him. And yeah, a challenging draft to execute for Brame as Spartan and Desire both, dying quite a fair amount in that match because they did have struggles breaking vision and finding those initiations to open the fight for the Zeus, Enigma, and Clinks. But yeah, congratulations to Nigma moving on into that lower bracket round 2 to face up against DGG. Brame, unfortunately, that is the end of the story here for their TI-11 qualifier run. But I think we can take a look at the bracket and the schedule for today. Of course, plenty more Dota action coming your way. 2 more series coming this way as well as the lower bracket does continue. If we can see the schedule coming up, we should be having Into the Breach against Waterrune, Enjoyers, and Alliance versus Team Bald Reborn. There we have it as our 2 next best of 3s with Owen and Fogged. And yeah, looking forward to those ones. There's, of course, DGG going to be against Nigma in that lower bracket round 2. And we'll find out what happens later on today. Any predictions, Sheepo, for those later 2 series?
I think everyone's really excited to watch Team Bold play. It would be nice to see how Alliance plays into them. Obviously, it could spell the end for Gork Stack. Alliance looked really good in their last series, even though they lost. I think it was probably the better they've looked in a long time.
Yeah.
So, hyped for that one. I don't really have solid predictions. Into the Breach, I think, are a really good team. Obviously, taking a game off Secret. I just want to highlight again, we just covered Brame. Brame, in their last 5 matches against Into the Breach, 5-0'd them. So, Brame coming into this match, it makes sense to me that this series was as close as it was for the first 2 games, at least. And just outside of that, yeah, I think Into the Breach is a really solid team. I think they could definitely win their next match and go far in the bracket. I'm just excited for Europe West Dota.
Yeah, the games are getting longer and longer. We started our run here, casting games, 31-minute victories for Liquid. We're like, yeah, okay, this is easy. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of things. The game's going 50, 60 minutes. And I'm curious to see how Owen and Fogged fare. They had a long night last night, and it might be a long one tonight as well. Games and series going the distance. But we will have a quick break as we return with more European action after this.